Hi again, everybody, from Goss Stadium at Coleman Field on the campus of Oregon State University in Corvallis, along with Knight Uretsky, Evan Bach, Andrew Roderick, Brian Thomas, Sawyer Gowan, Garrett Dworshak. This is Mike Parker welcoming you to Game 1 of a brief two-game series with the Springfield Drifters here at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. Both teams coming in not commensurate with the weather, namely not hot. The Drifters swept at home this past weekend down at the Rourke by Ridgefield, while the Corvallis Knights sustained their first series loss of the season, winning the opener on Friday in Walla Walla at Borleski Stadium, but dropping the last two. They will try to bounce back on this beautiful Monday evening, 90 degrees, clear skies, low AQI, perfect night for baseball. We're glad you've joined us to celebrate Mac the Knight's 17th birthday. Rapid from the Springfield Drifters is here, and a lot of mascots on the field celebrating Mac the Knight's 8th birthday. Great collegiality at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. Peyton Riskey joined me recently after a Knights ball game. That conversation is a few days old, but it's coming up next before we get to the starting lineups in the first pitch. The Knights and the Springfield Drifters on Mac the Knight's 17th birthday. Glad you've joined us. We'll hear from Peyton Riskey after a 2-minute break on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Honored to be joined by Knights starting pitcher Peyton Riskey, coming off another strong performance, most recently against Yakima Valley, 5 scoreless innings, 6 strikeouts. Peyton, there's a lot of things I want to kind of get to in your backstory, how you became a Knight, Gary Henderson, etc. But let's just start with the most recent, your outing against the Pippins. How did you feel about how your stuff was working?
Good. Everything felt good. I was able to command the fastball and throw some in at the knees, and that really set up my off speed. And I was able to land the curveball and mix in some changeups and just get the hitters off balance and keep them guessing.
Peyton, what has been your goal this summer in terms of working on your craft? What are the things you've been trying to refine?
Recently, just trying to build back up my stamina and get into that kind of starter mode. Really been working on my changeup too, and trying to mix that in a lot more. So, yeah.
You get, in that sense, marching orders from Coach Henderson coming into the summer. Does your dad, who I assume is one of your first and original coaches, is it all of a piece? You're kind of working on that with both your dad, Gary, et cetera?
Yeah, most of it's through Gary Henderson. He's helped me a lot with my pitches. But yeah, my dad's always been there. He's been there, obviously, my entire life, and kind of coached me through everything. I talk to him before and after every outing, and he helps me with things too. So.
I would assume that a guy who pitched 11 years in the big leagues knows a little bit about the craft of pitching. As you grew up, how much were you aware of how good your dad was to be able to do what he did for so long?
Yeah, when I was younger, I was completely oblivious to it. I thought everyone played in the big leagues, and as I've gotten older, it's become super awesome. And I've texted him the other day. I was at a big league game, and I was like, "Dang, Dad, you really did this. This is pretty cool." So it's really been hitting me recently, especially when I got older.
What big league game did you get to go to in the off time?
We went to Arizona Diamondbacks game.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, did you enjoy a little bit of time off? I mean, this is a grind in the summer. You've had a few days off here and there. How have you used the time?
It's been a grind for sure, but I mean, I've been kind of sidelined a little bit the last few years, and so anytime I'm out on the baseball field, I'm happy and just having a good time.
What are the things you've had to work through physically?
ACL surgery and fractured shin bone most recently. Yep.
Now, was that after you'd come through all the ACL rehab, then that happened? How did that happen?
It was just from the ACL thing. The other leg was overcompensating too much. So 3 knee surgeries, it caught up to me.
How are you feeling in terms of, you said, ramping back up the starters type, pitch number, innings, et cetera? How's that process going? Are you feeling it coming together for you?
Yeah, really good. I've been feeling stronger and been able to go out there and last longer every day. It's been really good. I'm feeling really strong right now.
Good to hear. Peyton Risky, my guest. I see that you're born in Renton, Washington, so I'm not sure if that's a function of where your dad was at that time. I mean, how do you end up where you are, going to high school in Vegas, end up at Utah? Give us that backstory a little bit, if you will.
I was actually born in Cleveland, Ohio.
Hey, Cleveland.
Ohio.
There's something, I misread it then. I thought I said Renton, Washington, but Cleveland.
Yep.
Is that where your dad was still pitching in the big leagues?
He was with the Indians at the time when I was born, and then kind of ever since then we've been moving all around, but Vegas my whole life, pretty much.
Vegas and a great school at Bishop Gorman, correct?
Absolutely, yeah.
That school shows up in all sports. How good are the teams in all sports?
Oh, it's unbelievable. I tell people back home all the time. I've got people, at Utah, here in Oregon, asking me what high school I go to, and they all know Bishop Gorman, so it's super cool, and being able to go to a big powerhouse high school like that has really benefited me.
And then Peyton, to go from there to Utah. Tell us how that came about.
Yeah, so really it was just all Gary Henderson. I want to be under his wing as much as I can. His knowledge and where he's been and what he's done, his resume is just unbelievable. So just kind of picking his brain and trying to learn as much as I can.
That's a pretty big brain to pick. My own experience with Gary when he was an assistant at Oregon State for Pat Casey in the early years when Pat was building this program here. Gary's always been one of my favorite people to talk to. What are some of the things he's kind of conveyed to you that you've been impressed by, his knowledge and so on, when you say picking his brain?
He's completely changed me as a pitcher mentally. Just from the mental side of things, he's been able to get through to me in kind of a different way that's away from the physical part of baseball. And it's completely changed my game and just my attitude towards baseball in general.
Last thing, Peyton, and that is the opportunity to come pitch and compete here. What the experience, how you got here, and what the experience has been like so far.
Yeah, so far it's been awesome. Gary Henderson kind of just told me I was going here, and that's what it was. But nowhere else I'd rather be. I'm having a blast. The competition's really good. Love being around the guys and a great coaching staff. So it's been great.
Peyton, it's great to have you with us. Thanks for taking time. Good luck to you next spring. I wish we were following you in the Pac-12. Those days are gone, but I'll always be pulling for anybody that is playing for Coach Henderson and played for the Knights. So I look forward to following you next spring with the Utes. Thanks for taking time. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Peyton Risky up tonight on the Knights live stream. Stream is right now, no break. We'll keep things right here. Roll that down. I'm not sure what that 11 years referred to, but it is good to be with you on a beautiful evening for baseball. 88 degrees. I haven't looked at the AQI number. It came to mind in traveling over to Central Oregon this weekend. An eventful trip, to be sure, which I won't go into the details, but it was eventful. I got to see a lot of the city of Bend that I hadn't seen before. It was quite an experience. And missed the games that the Knights partook in Walla Walla. But notice smoke kind of drifting in and out. We were blessed to stay in a cabin in Sun River, so made that 30-minute drive between Bend and Sun River on several different occasions. On certain days and evenings, the smoke came in heavy. You could barely see the sisters. Then on other days and hours, it drifted by and was out and gorgeous. And we have a beautiful evening for baseball here tonight, which is underway with a pitch from Lucas Casey to Gage Bruce, who hammers it to straightaway center field where Brandon Cabrera is hanging out. And Brandon goes back to make the catch. Good contact to open the game in this brief series between the Knights and Drifters, with a big crowd coming in on Mac the Knight's 17th birthday. Gage Bruce flying out to center on the first pitch from Lucas Casey. And now Garrett Cooper, the batter, the left-hand hitting left fielder. Lucas delivers down and in, ball 1, 1-0. Gage Bruce, the center fielder for Allen Embry's Drifters. Cooper in the two-hole and left. Elijah Maris batting third at shortstop. Rex DeAngelis, the cleanup hitter at first base. Casey delivers, swung on and missed. And the count 1-1 to Garrett. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, Dylan Osborne. Kedron Kinsey hitting sixth at third base. Sam Weber, Wilson's brother, batting sixth at third. Osborne batting fifth at DH. Kinsey batting sixth at third. The pitch swung on and fouled back in the count 1-2. Wilson Weber, his brother Sam, in right field and batting in the seventh spot. Ethan Buckley hitting eighth and catching. The 1-2 change, swung on and missed, strike three. Excellent pitch by Lucas Casey. Two quick outs in the top of the first inning as the Knights try to right their ship, losing back-to-back games in Walla Walla and losing their first series of the summer of 2024. As I mentioned at the outset, a correction, the Drifters were swept at home, not at the Rourke, but at the Hamlin Sports Complex, and they're off to a 1-6 start in the second half. The Knights, in dropping two, enter second half play at 4-3 after clinching the first half and home field advantage in the first round of the playoffs. Elijah Maris, the hitter, takes inside from Lucas Casey for ball one. Brandon Stinnett batting ninth at second base. Caden Starr gets the start for the Springfield Drifters, a right-hander. Lucas Casey, right-handed, working with battery mate Tyler Howard, and even 1-1 to Elijah. Kason Consarina at first, Peyton Miller at second, Ty Yukamoto at short, Thomas Ferrajaro at third. Casey's breaking ball whacked into left field, base hit. Blake Wilson over to cut it off, fires back into Ty Yukamoto. A two-out single to left field on the breaking ball for Elijah Maris, and that'll bring Rex DeAngelis to the plate. DeAngelis at 289 with 4 runs batted in. Maris starting the evening at 270, a couple of homers, 15 runs batted in. Elijah will be held on at first base by Consarina, is 4 for 4 in stolen bases. The first pitch to big Rex DeAngelis, knee high for a strike, 0-1 the count. Consarina at first base, Peyton Miller at second, Ty Yukamoto at short, Thomas Ferrajaro at third, Blake Wilson in left, Brandon Cabrera in center, Kellen Siegel in right. The outfield at medium depth and straight away. DeAngelis swings and misses. Rex, strapping left-handed hitter out of Canby and playing at UCSB, 6'4", 215-pounder. No score, top of the first, a two-out single for Elijah Maris. Lucas Casey comes set, and the right-hander back to the plate just outside. Anthony Artini calling balls and strikes. Anthony Brown on the base paths. Lucas Casey with a count of 1-2 and 2 down, comes set. The right-hander delivers, and Rex swings and pulls one foul in front of his own dugout on the first base side. 1-2 the count with Dylan Osborne on deck. Slight breezes on this 88-degree Monday evening, blowing out towards left center field, but very slight. The 1-2 pitch with Maris going, swung on and fouled back. The count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. One of the bigger crowds of the season coming in on this Monday evening. Papa's Pizza giving away slices of pizza, and Papa's in a celebratory mood on Mac the Knight's 17th birthday, so fans getting slices of pizza upon entering the ballpark, and they're coming in very good numbers. Casey from the stretch. Lucas delivers the changeup, swung on and missed, strike 3. 2 strikeouts swinging on the change from Lucas Casey here in the top of the first inning. A good start for Lucas. No runs, a hit, a man left. We go to the bottom of the first. We'll deliver the Knights lineup against left-hander Caden Starr. The Drifters nothing. The Knights coming up on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. I said left-hander. The Springfield Drifters failed to score. Georgia and Zane are here. Georgia's parents from Boise, Idaho. This is their second ever Knights game coming in on this beautiful Monday evening. Good to see them. Steve and Tina Kimball to my left. It is nice to see Steve with his beautiful wife, Tina. I see Steve all the time, and Tina is here with him, and it's great to have them and all of you, wherever you may be tuning our way this evening. No score in the bottom of the first. Caden Starr ready to go, and the first pitch from the right-hander to the switch-hitting Thomas Ferraggiaro is swung on and fouled straight back. Thomas leading off at third base for the Knights, trying to get back on the winning track after dropping 2 in a row in Walla Walla this past weekend. No score, bottom of the first. Starr delivers down and in. 1 ball and 1 strike. Caden Starr getting the opportunity this evening for the Springfield Drifters. Comes back to the plate and misses in the count 2-1. Ferraggiaro leading off at third base for the Knights. Tai Yukamoto batting second at shortstop. Blake Wilson hitting third and left. The cleanup hitter, Brandon Cabrera in center. Kevin Takeuchi batting fifth, the DH. Ferraggiaro hits a one-hopper off the end of the bat to third baseman Kedron Kinsey. Kedron fields cleanly and throws out Ferraggiaro. Kedron was playing even with the bag at third, respecting Thomas's bunting ability, and that rendered the one-hop play much easier. Had he been playing deeper, he would have maybe had to short hop the ball, make a play between hops, but he was perfectly positioned to get Ferraggiaro. 1 away, and Tai Yukamoto, the batter. Caden Starr and Ethan Buckley, the battery. Starr delivers just outside, ball 1. Kaysen Concerina hitting sixth at first base for the Knights. Tyler Howard batting seventh and catching. Kellen Siegel hitting ninth and right. Peyton Miller batting ninth at second base. Yukamoto swings and hits one foul to the left and out of play. Ty stepping in at 3-11 with 10 runs batted in, having a sensational summer for the Corvallis Knights. Caden Starr out of Marist. Local kid, thus playing his summer ball for the Drifters. Ground ball slowly to second. Brandon Stinnett fields and throws out Yukamoto. 2 away in the bottom of the first. And Blake Wilson coming up. Caden is making his 8th appearance of the summer, his 7th start. He's worked 26 innings coming in, allowed 25 hits, Control has been a bit of an issue with 19 walks in 26 innings, 16 strikeouts, a record of 2-1, an earned run average of 6.23. 2 quick outs for Caden tonight. Breaking ball misses up and in to Blake Wilson, ball 1, 1-0. Blake standing in at 293 with 8 runs batted in, as versatile a player as the Knights have. Getting the start this evening in left. He takes high again from Caden. Ball 2, 2-0. Brandon Cabrera on deck. Really impressed by the size of the crowd tonight. I mean, it's one of those evenings where it's perfect for baseball. Low AQI, as I mentioned, and as Bruce sings, a small source of comfort, Don was breaking in the air. We don't take these things for granted. When you think of what's in need of repair, the Canadian poet, and he's right. Low AQI, clear blue skies. This time of year, mid-July, we don't take it for granted at all. We're grateful. 2 balls and a strike to Blake Wilson, and thus a big crowd has come out. It seems, I don't know if the word got out through social media or whatever, let's meet up and have a nice summer night at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. But it has that kind of feel and look. There's a lot of folks making their way into their seats here in the bottom of the first. The 3-1 pitch to Blake Wilson swung on and missed, and the count goes full 3-2 with 2 down. And no disrespect to Mac the Knight's birthday and all the mascots here, but I do think that there must have been pretty good messages promulgated via social media and elsewhere to be drawing this kind of gathering tonight. The pitch to Blake Wilson hit foul. I mean, it's a Monday evening with one of the biggest crowds of the season beyond the big nights, the baseball giveaway nights, fireworks nights. You understand what I mean. Cap night, all of those things are big. But this is Mac the Knight's birthday. And the mascots for these various teams and organizations did a good job getting the word out. Papa's Pizza getting the pizza out. This is the place to be. 2 outs, nobody on. Blake swings at a 3-2 pitch. It's a fly ball to shallow right field. Moving in is Sam Weber to make the catch. And it's a solid 1-2-3 inning for Caden Starr before this big Monday gathering at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. 1 inning in the books. The Drifters nothing, the Knights nothing on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
No scores. We go to the second inning. Lucas Casey, the right-hander, out of the stretch to the plate and misses down and in to Dylan Osborne. Ball 1, 1-0. Dylan Osborne, Kedron Kinsey, and Sam Weber in the second. On Mac the Knight's birthday, with the big crowd still making its way in. The 1-0 pitch missing high, ball 2, 2-0. The pitch did not miss. The 2-0 pitch hit foul down the left field line and out of play. That's got to be a strike at any level, what we just saw Lucas Casey throw. And I'm not sure why Anthony Artini called it a ball. It just got plenty of the plate. It was not high. It was belt high. That needs to be a strike in our world and in almost any baseball world. And so why it was called a ball, I have no idea. Lucas back to the plate. The 2-1 pitch was a ball, swung on and fouled back by Dylan Osborne. And the count 2-2 to the Drifters' designated hitter. No score in the top of the second inning. Lucas Casey has pitched very well coming into this outing. Just his second start with the Knights. 12 1/3, 11 hits. 7 hits, 11 strikeouts. Ground ball to the left of second baseman Peyton Miller. Peyton throws to first, and Anthony Brown says that the throw pulled Kason Consarini off the bag, and here we go again. The Artini and Brown show, which isn't a very good one, quite frankly. From here, it didn't appear as though the foot left the bag. Now, granted, Anthony's got a better view than the angle that we have here. But Brooke Knight, as is a common theme, when these two guys are working a game, Brooke comes out to have a conversation, to try to get the umpires together to talk about it. From here, it looked like the runner was out. But Anthony Brown said the throw from Peyton Miller to Consarini pulled Kason off the bag. And so we have Dylan Osborne aboard on a throwing error by Peyton Miller. And that'll bring to the plate Kedron Kinsey, and a bit of a gift it appeared to open the second. Mac the Knight's birthday party. Bucky the Beaver from Beaverton High School is here. I will try to enumerate the mascots that have come to celebrate as we go. A chopper to third. Ferraggiaro fighting the sun, goes to Miller for one, on to first for a double play. And all angst, all trouble averted. Whatever we may have been grousing over, forget all of that. Life is good again. That's an around the horn 5-4-3 double play. Not Tinker to Evers to Chance. Who was Harry Steinfeld anyway? Steinfeld was the poor joker in that Cubs infield, the third baseman that nobody ever talked about if he started a double play. But if Tinker to Evers to Chance did it, it made a famous poem. 2 down, nobody on. Sam Weber, the batter. Sam takes the first pitch a little bit high, and again, Tyler Howard's looking into the dugout. Brooke Knight is saying, where did it miss? I'm not sure that it did, but the umpire said it did, and as many of you would say, well, that's all that matters, and you're right. You would be right. The 1-0 pitch, a ground ball on 2 hops to Yukamoto, who, again, I hope will take care of the angst. He throws to first and gets the out, and the inning is over. Life is too short. The skies are too clear and nice, I guess, to get too worked up about anything, so I'll try to rein myself in as we go to the bottom of the second. It's just there are things, as Bruce again says, don't tell me there is no mystery. It's everywhere I see, and usually at Knights games and usually from the two-man crew. We go to the bottom of the second. The Drifters nothing, the Knights nothing on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. The right-hander out of the University of Portland, Caden Starr, delivers a first pitch strike to Brandon Cabrera. No score, bottom of the second. Caden from the stretch, the strike one breaking ball. Brandon pounds it foul, and the count 0-2. Brandon starting the ball game at 3-11 with 17 runs batted in. No balls and 2 strikes. Brandon Cabrera, Kevin Takeuchi, and Kaysen Consarina for the Knights in the bottom of the second. Fastball sprayed foul off to the right and towards the sand volleyball courts, which I hope have been doing brisk business. Certainly in the cool of the evening, they should be. I didn't notice. I took a different route into the ballpark today and didn't notice, but those courts, I hope, are occupied. No balls and 2 strikes to Brandon Cabrera. He lines one into center field, but in perfect position is Gage Bruce to grab it. Good contact for the out to open the bottom of the second. Kevin Takeuchi, the league's leader in runs batted in, will come to the plate with 29 RBIs. The Knights' leading hitter at 320 has 3 of the Knights' 4 home runs on the summer. Just a tremendous summer for Kevin. All-Star game bound Wednesday at Joe Martin Field in Bellingham. Caden Starr delivers, pulled foul past Coach Brooke Knight. Brooke coaching at third, Ed Nags over at first. No balls and 1 strike to Kevin Takeuchi. Caden Starr comes set. The right-hander out of Marist delivers in the turf. 1-1 the count. Congratulations to former Corvallis Knights who have been drafted in the MLB draft. Some Beavers have been drafted too. One in particular you may have heard about yesterday. We'll get to a former Corvallis Knight. The player of the year, in fact, for the Knights just 3 summers ago and 3 years ago nearly to the date. He tripled, doubled, singled, and had 5 RBIs in a Knights game right here. Travis Bazzana. Kevin Takeuchi takes high, 2-1 the count. Slider for a strike from Caden Starr to even the count to Kevin at 2-2. Travis Bazzana went number 1 to the Cleveland Guardians yesterday. What a sweet moment in the Omaha room here within the ballpark, just off the first baseline. The 2-2 pitch in the turf for ball 3. Gary and Jenny Bazzana, Travis's folks, made the trip up from Sydney, as did his best friend, as did other family members, his Aunt Sue, who plied me with books during the course of the Oregon State baseball season this past spring. Sue was here. It was a delightful gathering and a celebration of an amazing young man with an incredible journey here, a great story that began his collegiate baseball experience right here with the Corvallis Knights just 3 summers ago. And behold, yesterday, the 1-1 player, Oregon State's second. That's incredible. One of 4 programs now in college baseball history to have 2 number 1 overall picks. That is rarefied air, to be sure. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Kevin Takeuchi. No score, bottom of the second. Caden Starr from the stretch delivers high and inside, and what has gotten Caden in some trouble, as I mentioned earlier, the walks. Clearly a factor in a 6.23 ERA. His stuff is pretty good, but he needs to command it better, and he issues a 1-out walk to Kevin Takeuchi. Kaysen Consarina will be the batter. During a mishap on the Deschutes in Bend this weekend, I met Tanner Douglas's uncle Braden, a paramedic. A pitch missing down and in to Kaysen Consarina, ball 1-0. Tanner Douglas will be leaving the Portland Pilots and will no longer be teammates with Caden Starr next year on the Bluff. Tanner will be coming to pitch for Oregon State, and in the midst of a rather scary scene and moment within our family's life. All is well. I'm not going to go much further than that. All is well. Everybody's fine now, but it was some scary times on the Deschutes late Friday afternoon. But I do recall in the midst of all of that, a Braden Douglas saying Tanner's really looking forward to coming to Oregon State this fall. The 1-0 pitch missing a little bit high to Kaysen Concerina, ball 2, 2-0. And in that respect, a frightening weekend on the river. In Independence, right here near where many of us float often, there was a drowning in the river on Saturday on the Willamette. Concerina punches one in the air, a foul. Rex DeAngelis goes back to get it. Good backhand grab, running away from home plate and having to deal with the fence, the netting, find the ball, stay with it. Good work on the part of Rex DeAngelis for the second out. Serious reminders both over in Bend on the Deschutes in our family, and when we were reading and hearing about the tragedies on the Willamette this weekend, a 13-year-old boy in the Independence area, a woman floating on the Willamette River this past Saturday afternoon near the confluence of the Marys and the Willamette. Just got to always just be on the alert and make sure you're kind of keeping track of one another. Tyler Howard, the batter. There goes Kakeuchi. The pitch is a strike, and the throw to second, not nearly in time. Good jump for Kevin Takeuchi, who gets his 7th stolen base in 9 attempts. And that'll give Tyler Howard an RBI opportunity with a count of 0-1 and 2 down, no score. Bottom of the second inning. Star from the stretch. Caden delivers, low, ball 1. And with that stolen base, Pape Material Handling and the Corvallis Knights each make a contribution of $15, a total of $30 for every night stolen base, under the auspices of Pape Material Handling, to Community Outreach, Inc., helping people through various struggles get on the right track to lead healthy and productive lives. Great work done by COI, Community Outreach, Inc., and another stolen base adds to helping their efforts in important work in our community. Tyler Howard takes down and away, ball 2, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch, fastball a little bit low, ball 3. The throw back to the pitcher from Buckley gets away from Caden Starr, and Kevin Takeuchi reads it well and picks up the extra 90 feet on the throwing error on the part of the catcher, Ethan Buckley. With 2 down, it's less impactful, generally speaking, but it does put Takeuchi in a position to score on a wild pitch or pass ball. Howard swings at the 3-1 pitch and lifts it foul past the Omaha room, the site of the grand gathering yesterday for the Bazzana family. Gary Bazzana, Travis's father, who I have had the pleasure of knowing since the summer of 21 here with the Knights. Gary and Jenny made a trip and said they listened and followed every Knights game and became very connected to this community through that in Travis's amazing summer of 21 with the Knights. The 3-2 pitch to Tyler Howard misses down and away for ball 4. 2 walks in the inning for Caden Starr. Kellen Siegel, the batter. Aiden May then went in the second round, the compensation round, 70th to Miami. Jacob Kamatz for Oregon State in the 5th round today to Tampa Bay. Bridger Holmes, a former Springfield Drifter, went in the 7th round to the LA Angels today. We'll hear from Knight a little bit more on Bridger Holmes' impact with the Drifters last summer. Elijah Hainline also in the 7th round, the Beaver shortstop, to the LA Dodgers. Signee Zach Swanson went in the 9th round to the Detroit Tigers out of Toutle Lake High School, but likely will be at Oregon State in the fall. The first pitch to Kellen Siegel, missing high and inside, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch with Tyler Howard going is fouled back by Kellen to even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Kellen hitting .250. No homers and 6 runs batted in, starting in right field. On this warm, pleasant night, no score, bottom of the second, 1st and 3rd for the Knights with 2 down. Howard goes again. The pitch is a strike, and Buckley makes no attempt whatsoever. Just received the breaking ball strike, working on getting the out on Siegel and conceding the base to Tyler Howard. So another contribution to Community Outreach, Inc., with Tyler Howard getting his first steal of 2024. 1 ball and 2 strikes. A check swing tapper back in front of the mound. Starr comes off the field, throws high, and safe, says the first baseman, Anthony Brown. Now it's the turn of Alan Embry to say, how can you call him safe? And now he's asking for help. And, folks, the right call here is out. Kellen Siegel should be called out. And I think Anthony Artini will overturn Anthony Brown, whose angle was not a good one. But DeAngelis came back down on the bag with the ball ahead of Kellen Siegel. And as much as I'd like to see the Knights take the lead here, 1-0, the proper call here is out. Now, it won't make Brooke Knight particularly happy if the call is reversed. Anthony Brown says safe after all, which tells me Anthony Artini must not have had a clear enough look at it. Siegel is aboard on the throwing error. The second error of the inning on the Springfield Drifters. No RBI for Kellen. Kevin Takeuchi comes in to score. 1-0 Knights. Tyler Howard going all the way to third. Went to third on the play, and now Peyton Miller takes a strike. The count 0-1. 1-0 Knights in the second. While the throwing error on Caden Starr's part to first base essentially leads to the unearned run. 2 walks in the inning, not helpful. There goes Kellen Siegel. The pitch misses inside to Peyton Miller, and Siegel is in with the Knights' third stolen base of the evening. The Knights now with 72 steals on the summer. 1 ball and 1 strike, meanwhile, to Peyton Miller, looking for a 2-run single here, with the Knights already leading 1-0 in the second. Ground ball by the mound, charged by the second baseman, Brandon Stinnett. Brandon flips to first to retire the side. The Knights get an unearned run, no hits, 2 errors, 2 left. At the end of 2, the Knights won and Springfield nothing on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
News that you can trust. Subscribe to the Gazette-Times, your go-to source for in-depth journalism and breaking news. From local stories that impact your community to consistent updates to your Beavers and Knights, the Gazette-Times has it all. For only $1 for 3 months, enjoy unlimited access to our e-edition, unlimited articles on GazetteTimes.com and our mobile app, and free access to newspapers.com archives. Subscribe today and join the Gazette-Times community.
1-0 Knights as we go to the top of the third inning on Mac the Knight's birthday party. Mac turning 17. Bucky the Beaver from Beaverton High School is here. Double T from Taft High School. Rocky the Roadrunner from Lynn Benton. Hootie the Owl from Oregon Tech. Puddles the Oregon Duck. Benny Beaver is here. Rapid is here up the road from the Drifters. Lil King and the star of the show on his 17th birthday, Mac the Knight. The youngsters enjoying watching the activities of the aforementioned mascots. To the third, 1-0 Knights. Ethan Buckley takes the first pitch inside. Now he grounds one sharply by the diving Ferragaro. In fact, off of the tip of Thomas's glove into foul territory. Blake Wilson took a stab at the ball, a stab at matter, as Bruce sings, and that matter kind of, it didn't cooperate with Blake. And into second base goes Ethan Buckley. The Knights were charged with an error last inning. I don't think Blake's going to be charged with an error here, but Buckley had taken a turn and was going to content himself with a base hit, a single, and chose to accelerate when Blake did not get a clean handle on the ball on the warning track in foul territory. No error has been put up on the board, so we go with a double for Buckley. The tying run in scoring position with nobody out. Alan Embry putting the bunt on for Brandon Stinnett, who shows and takes low and inside, ball one, 1-0. Bright sunshine for the fielders on the left side, but that ball for Blake, he can't attribute it to that. The ball was on the turf, and he just took a stab at it and then came up empty, allowing Buckley to pick up the extra 90 feet. Stinnett again shows bunt. He takes high and away, ball two, 2-0 from Lucas Casey. 1-0 Knights in the third, but an opportunity for Springfield to get even. Stinnett again shows and gets the bunt down. This will move the runner. Lucas Casey fields and throws to first. The sacrifice works. 1-4. And on the play, Buckley advancing to third. The tying run 90 feet away for Gage Bruce. The Knights are sending 7 to the West Coast League All-Star Game on Wednesday to be televised on the MLB Network. What a showcase for the league. One of the best ever, in fact, for the West Coast League. The premier wood-bat collegiate league in the West, without question, and in the same conversation, I dare say, with the Cape Cod League, just in terms of quality of play, and the MLB Network will showcase all of that Wednesday night in Bellingham. Gage Bruce takes a breaking ball strike from Lucas Casey. The 0-1 pitch, fastball hit high in the air, foul off third. Thomas Ferraggiaro fighting the sun, stepping into the shadows, makes a basket catch, juggling, stays with it, and pulls it in. With a little style and a little drama en route, he gets it done on the pop foul. That wasn't an easy play. Ferraggiaro, in fact, like the swimmer in Dante, getting back afterwards and looking at what he had just came through in the wild and rolling oceans. When Ferraggiaro got back to third, he looked up in the sky to see what he had just been dealing with. Looking up at the clear blue, bright sunshine, and then running into the shadows, covering a lot of turf. It was not an easy play, but he makes it happen for the second out. Good concentration. Garrett Cooper takes a first pitch strike. Ethan Buckley at third, 2 down. The strike one pitch is swung on and missed. The count 0-2. Cooper struck out in the first inning. Lucas Casey fanning 2 in the first, both on changeups. He's ahead of the count here to Cooper, 0-2 with 2 down. Buckley at third, 1-0 Knights. Lucas from the stretch comes to the plate, misses high, ball one. The Knights will be sending James DeCramer, Ty Horn, Caden Siegel, Ty Yukamoto, Blake Wilson, Brandon Cabrera, and Kevin Takeuchi to Bellingham Wednesday night for the first All-Star game in the WCL since 2019. The 1-2 pitch, slap foul into the upper grandstand on the left side above the Jack Riley concourse. Far fewer souls down the third base line tonight. While I call it the cool of the evening, still pretty hot in those bleachers, both the upper and lower decks in the sun in the mid-80s now. A lot of folks to our right enjoying the cool of the evening in the shade. Fly ball to deep right field. Kellen Siegel going back, still going back. Kellen stays with it to backhand it to retire the side. Garrett Cooper giving that a good ride to deep right field. Kellen Siegel with a long retreat hauls it in. And Ethan Buckley is left stranded at third. Good play by a good baseball player, Kellen Siegel. No runs, a hit, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the third. The Knights 1 and the Drifters nothing on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Caden Starr to Thomas Ferragaro, leading things off for the Corvallis Knights in the bottom of the third inning. 1-0 Knights. Thomas fouls one. Waldo away to the left and out of play. No balls and one strike to Thomas, who grounded to third in his first at-bat. The 0-1 pitch. Starr's fastball misses a little bit high. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Starr works out of the stretch with nobody on. Comes to the plate and misses again. Ball 2. 2-1. Thomas Ferragaro, Ty Yukamoto, and Blake Wilson, the top of the order, against Caden Starr, who yielded an unearned run last inning. The 2-1 pitch is in there for a strike to Thomas. 2-2 the count. The Knights and Drifters again tomorrow, 6:35. Cohen Gomez will get the start for the Knights on Armed Forces Night. The 2-2 pitch misses high, ball 3, 3-2. Mac the Knights' birthday party has brought a crowd that's nearly, and the bleachers to our right are full. I haven't seen that look very often this summer, save for the big fireworks show on July 3rd. Presented, by the way, by our friends at Oregon State Credit Union. Pitch foul back, and the count stays 3 balls and 2 strikes. If you live or work in one of 24 Western or Central Oregon counties, you're entitled to membership privileges and the full financial services of Oregon State Credit Union. You can join online at one of their 15 branches or at OregonStateCU.com. A soft liner in the air to the right of the shortstop, Elijah Maris, who kind of falls into the catch for the out on Thomas, who was 0 for 2. And Ty Yukamoto, who grounded out to second in the first inning, will come to the plate. Oregon State Credit Union was indeed, again, the proud title sponsor of the huge fireworks extravaganza on the 3rd of July. Oregon State Credit Union investing in all of our communities and are dedicated to creating financial solutions toward making local lives better. Ty takes down and away from Caden Starr. 1-0 the count, 1-0 Knights, bottom of the third. Caden back to the plate. Yukamoto takes low and in. Ball 2, 2-0. The All-Star game Wednesday, and the Knights will be right back at it in a non-league game here on Thursday before heading to Bend for the weekend. Yukamoto, a line drive to right. Sam Weber goes back a couple of steps to make the catch. Well struck, but an out. Quickly 2 down in the bottom of the third. Blake Wilson will be the batter. Knight Uretsky will be along for the middle innings, as we have been I think enjoying the experience of sharing the broadcast both home and away, working the middle innings. Knight will have 4, 5, and 6. He can talk about the All-Star game from the Drifters' perspective and other former Drifters drafted. A little more from his perspective on a young man who dazzled Beaver fans with his brilliant slider as a great closer in the Pac-12 in the final season of the league, in Bridger Holmes. Pitched very well last summer for the Drifters. Blake Wilson taking the first pitch down and away. The 1-0 offering from Caden Starr misses for ball 2. Jacob Wright, a former Knight, was drafted today in the 4th round by the LA Dodgers. Wright played with the Knights last summer. Sam Sturr out of Portland went in the 5th round today. Congratulations to Sam, to Oakland. The pitch to Wilson, a dunker to right. Sam Weber plays it on a hop, and Blake Wilson hustles into second base with a 2-out double. Nice job by Blake. A Texas leaguer, no doubt, but Weber was way over toward the alley in right center, had no chance to catch it, nor did the second baseman Stinnett. Blake hit it where they ain't, as Wee Willie Keeler said back in the 1890s, ain't no one there. And that's where he hit the ball. Brandon Cabrera with an opportunity to give the Knights a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Ryan Stafford, who was with the Knights couple of summers ago. Stafford out of Cal Poly won in the 5th round to Baltimore. So the Knights with great representation again in the MLB draft. Travis Pizzana, front and center, former Knight, former Beaver, number 1 overall. The 1-0 pitch to Brandon Cabrera in the turf. Ethan Buckley keeps it in the neighborhood, holding at second base. Blake Wilson after the 2-out dunk double to right. 2-0 the count to Cabrera. On this beautiful Monday evening before a huge crowd. Caden Starr to the plate. Good fastball for a strike. The count 2-1. Thursday night will be knuckleball night in a non-league game here. We will celebrate the knuckler, the practitioners of the knuckleball, and be speaking in hallowed terms of Eddie Fisher and Wilbur Wood. Fastball hit foul off to the right and out of play. And Hoyt and the Negro brothers and Tim Wakefield and R.A. Dickey and the late great Bulldog himself, Jim Boughton. There aren't, I don't know if there's anybody currently in the major leagues throwing the knuckleball. Certainly no one on a regular basis a la Dickey or Wakefield. I don't know if anyone has it in their arsenal. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1-0 Knights in the bottom of the 3rd. It's a fascinating pitch. And in the age of spin, what's the spin rate? Well, on a knuckleball, it ain't supposed to spin at all. The 2-2 pitch, a chopper back of third, foul. Thus, the knuckler, by definition, would not be congenial to the era we're in, with people chasing spin rate. Travis Pizzana himself, though, part of the genius of the man. A story in The Athletic today recounting his journey and his growth as a hitter. At a game earlier this year against somebody, I think Gonzaga, he asked, what is the horizontal break on this guy's slider? And he was told, he said, okay, and he went up and hit a home run. And so he's a guy that's totally bought in to everything in the analytics world and the best overall hitter in college baseball this past spring. A 2-2 pitch, a one-hop shot, a bad hop off the knee of Kinsey into left field for a base hit. Coming in to score from the base hit is Blake Wilson. Cabrera trying to go to second and is thrown out by Garrett Cooper. But the run scored before the out at second. Cabrera hammering the one-hopper off the leg of Kedron Kinsey for the base hit and the run batted in. Blake Wilson, a 2-out double. Wilson scores on the hard shot off the bat of Brandon Cabrera. But then Cabrera is thrown out trying to stretch the single into a double. The Knights do pick up a run on 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left. Knight Uretsky will be along to call the middle innings here on this beautiful Monday night. Warm temperatures and a low AQI. This is the place to be in the Mid-Valley. At the end of 3, the Knights 2 and the Drifters nothing on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
We want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
News that you can trust? Subscribe to the Gazette-Times, your go-to source for in-depth journalism and breaking news. From local stories that impact your community to consistent updates to your Beavers and Knights, the Gazette-Times has it all. For only $1 for 3 months, enjoy unlimited access to our e-edition, unlimited articles on GazetteTimes.com and our mobile app, and free access to newspapers.com archives. Subscribe today and join the Gazette-Times community.
Through 3 innings at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, the Knights 2 runs, 2 hits, and 1 error. The Springfield Drifters no runs, 2 hits, and 2 errors. We go to the 4th. The voice of the Springfield Drifters, Knight Uretsky.
Thank you, Mike. Always an honor to get to broadcast with you here at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. 1 ball and 1 strike to Elijah Maris. Here in the top of the 4th inning, Lucas Casey deals down and away, and it's swung on and missed by Maris, the Linfield product, 1-2. Maris 1 for 1 with a single back in the 1st inning, and Maris continues his hot streak. One of the best hitters in Springfield's lineup, now on a 5-game hit streak with 3 multi-hit performances. Looking for his 4th here in that stretch. Looks at the pitch from Casey, down and away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Maris coming in, batting .270, able to raise his batting average from .230 to .270 over those last 5 games. Went 1 for 3 in the game yesterday against Ridgefield, a tough 6-4 loss for Springfield. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Maris chops it foul, third base side. Do it again. Defensively for the Knights, Blake Wilson out in left field, Brandon Cabrera in center field, Kellen Siegel out in right, Thomas Ferrajaro, the third baseman, Tai Yukamoto, the shortstop, Peyton Miller, the second baseman, Kason Consolania, the first baseman, and Tyler Howard catching behind the plate.
How about your first base guy?
The 2-2, Maris fouls it away. Third base coach today for Springfield, Rocco Ferrari. First base coach today is Sam Olson, the son of the owner Ike Olson of the Springfield Drifters. Ike, him, and Kelly Richardson, the co-owners of Springfield, their 3rd season as a franchise. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Maris goes down swinging. A strikeout for Lucas Casey, his 2nd. First since the 1st inning. 1 away here in the top of the 4th. So it brings up now Rex DeAngelis, left-handed hitter from UC Santa Barbara. DeAngelis, a strikeout his first time back out in the 1st. So Lucas Casey's given up just 2 hits so far, no runs. Here through the first 3 and a 3rd. The right-hander deals a little bit outside, 1-0 to DeAngelis. So Sam Olson coaching today at first base. This upcoming weekend after the All-Star game on Wednesday, the Drifters will be making the trip out to Canada. They'll be facing off against the Edmonton Riverhawks. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Now 1-1. And with the trip to Canada, not everybody has a passport, including Rocco Ferrari, who will not be making the trip. And so with Rocco Ferrari not making the trip, Sam Olson, he's going to be at a bachelor party. Leo Rivera, he might be making the trip. As DeAngelis swings and misses, 1-2. Alan Embry, he'll be making the trip, but with just 2 coaches, they're going to have to call on none other than Kyle Whitty, our assistant GM of the Springfield Drifters, sitting here today to the right of me, and he's going to be the first base coach, we assume, up in that series in Edmonton. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the pitch, up and away. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes to DeAngelis. DeAngelis coming in with a .289 batting average this season, 11 hits, 38 at-bats, 3 doubles, and a triple. The 2-2 to DeAngelis. Upstairs, a 3-2. DeAngelis, the first time through against Corvallis, had a 2-for-4 performance and a 3-4 loss, and a 1-for-3 performance and a 4-7 loss. The last time out, though, against the Knights, it was back at the Hamlin Sports Complex, went 0-for-2. Payoff pitch, DeAngelis chases down low. Back-to-back strikeouts for Casey. So 2 gone, nobody on for Dylan Osborne now. Casey had 34 pitches through the first 3 innings. Now up to 42. With 2 outs here in the 4th. So here's Dylan Osborne, the DH. Reached on air his first time up. Really tough air for Peyton Miller, which it looked like he got the out at first. Instead, Osborne reached as he takes down low, 1-0. So far, a couple of errors for Springfield. 2 errors defensively for the Drifters, 1 error defensively for Corvallis. 2-0, Knights with the lead here on the top of the 4th. 1-0 to Osborne. Taken for a strike, 1-1. Dylan Osborne, the University of Washington product, originally from Vancouver, Washington. And just like Elijah Maris, he's been swinging the stick pretty well. Yesterday went 0-for-1 and a pinch hit at bat, but before that had a 6-game hit streak. Taken down low and inside, 2-1. During that stretch, he had a couple of 2-hit performances, including another 3-for-3 performance. That's starting to come around for the two-way player that pitched excellently here at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field a couple of weekends ago. Fouled off, and it's now 2-2. And a game back on June 22nd, which it feels like was just a couple of weeks ago. Quite a bit some time now, almost a month ago. Osborne threw 2 innings, allowed just 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. And he looked pretty good out of the bullpen. That was his first outing of the year. He's only thrown 1 other time, and he also threw 2 innings against Walla Walla. But, man, has he looked good on the mound. So two-way player out of the University of Washington. Started 9 games for the Huskies this past season, and now this number 11 of the year for Springfield. Takes the called strike pitch down and away, and that'll do it for the Drifters in the top of the 4th. 3 strikeouts for Lucas Casey. 3 up, 3 down, the Drifters go. We head to the bottom of the 4th. 2-0, Knights leading here on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Bottom of the 4th inning, 2-0, the Knights leading. Knight Uretzi, happy to be with you this afternoon on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Caden Starr dealing for Springfield. He's given up 2 runs on 2 hits and 2 errors defensively for Springfield thus far. Kevin Takeuchi, the DH, leading things on, followed by Kason Concerina and Tyler Howard. Here is Takeuchi, the WCL leader in RBIs, takes down low and away at 1-0. Caden Starr, he's also walked a couple. Came in with 19 walks this season, the 5th most in the WCL, but he's done a good job so far with the 2 walks, both coming in 1 inning. That was back in the 2nd. Escaped that inning with just 1 unearned run. Bounces one in. Ethan Buckley is catcher. Now 2 balls and no strikes, but the pitch count is certainly up for Caden Starr. 63 pitches through the first 3 innings. Looking for a quick, efficient inning. The Drifters, their bullpen's pretty depleted. Not a ton of options in the bullpen over the next couple of games, and so they're really hoping for the most amount of innings from each of their pitchers here today as Starr gets back in the zone. Now 2 balls and 1 strike on a fastball low and away to Takeuchi, who was one of the 2 walks back in that 2nd inning. Takeuchi, a walk, a stolen base, reached 3rd on an error, and was able to come in and score on another error. Takeuchi swings and misses, and another pitch down and away. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes to the USC product and Takeuchi. Takeuchi now 15th in the league in batting average. On a little bit of a slump, but still one of the top hitters in the WCL, heading off to the All-Star game this Wednesday. Swings and misses. Caden Starr gets a strikeout, his first. 1 away here in the bottom of the 4th, 2-0. Knights with the lead. So here is Kason Concerina. You go from a USC Trojan to a UCLA Bruin. Concerina pop up to first base, his first time up. Speaking of first base, new first baseman in the game for Springfield. It's Andrew Ghana coming in for Rex DeAngelis after DeAngelis' strikeout. Had 2 strikeouts in his first 2 at-bats, and so Coach Alan Embry, unafraid to make a substitution, it feels like, over the last couple of weeks, decides to put in Andrew Ghana. 1 ball and no strikes to Kason Concerina after the first pitch missed up and inside. The 1-0 delivery from Starr, bunt shown up the third base side. A pretty good bunt, barehanded by Kinsey, and he has no plays. Concerina, a bunt single, and it was a beaut down the third base side. Third hit of the game for Corvallis here in the bottom of the fourth inning. A runner at first now with one out. And it's going to be Tyler Howard to the dish. So Howard, the catcher for Corvallis, playing at the University of Portland, working against a pitcher that I'm sure he caught a fair amount of at the University of Portland. Starr, no appearances for the Pilots this season as the ball goes down in the dirt. Throw down to second as the runner trying to go. Consarinia gets in there safely just before the one-hop throw from Ethan Buckley. So another stolen base for the Knights. That's their fourth today. The Knights came in at fourth in the WCL in stolen bases. Now up to 73 on the season on 92 attempts. Knights always an aggressive team, and now a chance to add on to their 2-0 lead. Caden Starr misses below the knees. 2 balls and no strikes to Tyler Howard, who walked his first time up. So Starr, this is his 7th start of the season, 8th appearance overall for Springfield. This is down low now, 3 balls and no strikes. Struggling to find the zone here in this at-bat against Tyler Howard, his teammate. We'll see if Howard's swinging on the 3-0. Gets the green light. 3-0 from Starr. Looked at for a strike. Catches the low outside corner. 3-1. Drifters today, the gray uniforms. They unveiled these a couple of years ago here at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, the very first time. It was a 14-2 victory for the Corvallis Knights, but the nice gray uniforms with Springfield across the chest. Runner on the move, 3-1 fouled away by Howard. Consarina going to have to retreat back to second base. So full count, 1 out with a runner in scoring position, 2-0, and Knights with the lead here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Trying to extend the lead. The Drifters took the first 2 games of the year against Corvallis. Since that point, the Knights have won 5 straight against Springfield. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Starr. Just inside, and that's another walk. Walk number 3 today for Caden Starr. And now 2 on, 1 out. Double play in play now with Kellen Siegel coming to the plate. Siegel reached on an error his first time up. And now Matt Hubbs, the assistant coach, who's really filled in like a pitching coach this season for Springfield, comes out to talk things over with Caden Starr. At the beginning of the year, Hubbs was not with the organization. It was just Leo Rivera, Rocco Ferrari, and of course the head coach, Alan Embry. Embry was projected to be the pitching coach this season for Springfield, but a last-minute substitution. He had to be the head coach after Tommy Richards, the head coach of the Springfield Drifters, took the assistant coach job at Washington State. And so with 1 day before the season started, Tommy Richards told the team, hey guys, I will not be making the trip up to Yakima Valley. I can't coach anymore. I'm going to be up in Wazoo coaching up there. And he had to go and start that job immediately. Richards, a former WCL MVP, used to play with the Bend Elks, which his parents owned back in the day. And a young man from the great city of Bend who then eventually went on and played at Washington State and now returns home to be the coach there. And so Alan Embry had to move from pitching coach to head coach, has been the head coach this season, leading Springfield to a 13-21 record so far. And with the lack of a pitching coach, Matt Hubbs about 2 or 3 weeks ago came in and started to fill some of those shoes. So here's Kellen Siegel now. 2 on, 1 out in the bottom of the fourth. 2-0, Knights with the lead. Caden Starr, his first pitch in for a strike of the knees. 0-1. Gorgeous afternoon for baseball here in Corvallis. 88 degrees at first pitch. Cooled down a little bit. Not as windy as I'm used to up here on the perch. 84 the current temperature here in the fourth inning. Lots of shade filling the stadium. The Starr turns around, looks back towards second. No throw there. Brandon Sinnett, the second baseman, keeping an eye on Consarinia at second. Crowd to the right of me on the first base side. Pretty packed. Not many open seats to the right of me. Starr delivers. Runners on the move, and the ball gets hit right into Consarinia, who was taken off towards third. Consarinia going to be out, and he'll slowly limp into the dugout of the Knights. We hope he's okay. Definitely a stinger and one that he didn't expect on the hit-and-run opportunity. The Knights fortunately get an out. Howard moves over to second, and then Siegel reaches first. So now 2 outs, 2 on, and Peyton Miller comes to the plate. 2-0, Knights leading. Still a runner in scoring position. This time now Tyler Howard. Peyton Miller, 0 for 1. Grounded out to second his first time up. Takes down low in the turf. 1-0. Miller, the product from Gonzaga, batting .215 entering today. 14 hits and now 66 at-bats this season for Corvallis. The 1-0 from Starr, bunt shown, bunted foul behind the plate. 1-1. Lovely turnout for a Monday afternoon game, a rare Monday game. Springfield, they've been playing since last Tuesday. So they have 8 straight games, then the WCL game on Wednesday. Kedron Kinsey, third baseman for Springfield. He'll be making the trip up with Dane Woodcook, catcher from New Mexico State, who was also named to the WCL All-Star game for Springfield. Miller swings at the 1-1, bounces it to the right side. Sinet Field sidearms to first. Andrew Ghana is there for the final out. 2 left stranded after 1 hit. No runs and no errors. Heading to the 5th inning. 2-0 the score. Corvallis with the lead here on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Hey Corvallis Knights fans, looking for an amazing deal? Come down to Wilson Motors. Visit us today and get free tickets to Wilson Motors Night with the Corvallis Knights on July 24th. It's a night you won't want to miss. Exciting baseball, great company, and fantastic giveaways. While you're here, check out our wide variety of vehicles. From sleek sedans to rugged trucks, we've got something for everyone. Wilson Motors, the one-stop shop for unbeatable deals and unforgettable nights. Hurry in and score your tickets today at Wilson Motors on
Beautiful Monday night for baseball, and it's Mac's birthday here at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. During the half inning, they had a piñata out, and all the mascots in attendance here swinging a bat at a piñata for celebration of Mac's birthday. A very fun event. Mini night, though, the Mini King, I believe that is his title. He hit Mac the Knight, took him down on a chair, and then he got dragged off the field. Nonetheless, a fun time here at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field for Mac's birthday. In the top of the 5th inning, 2-0, Corvallis with the lead. Kedron Kinsey leading things out, followed by Sam Weber and Ethan Buckley. Lucas Casey still out there for Corvallis. He's been dealing so far. First pitch, a breaking ball in for a strike. Called by Anthony Artini, the home plate umpire, Anthony Brown, the field umpire today. No balls and 1 strike to Kedron Kinsey, who grounded into a 5-4-3 double play his first time up. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch from Casey. Chopped up the middle. Tough play for Yukimoto. He fields beyond the second base bag. A good throw over to first, and he beats Kinsey for out number 1. 1 out, nobody on for Sam Weber, the right fielder, in this 2-0 ball game. Top of the 5th. Springfield with 2 hits so far. One Ethan Buckley, the other one Elijah Maris. So the Springfield team struggling to pull together some hits. Yesterday finished with a total of 5 hits. 40% of them came in the first inning. So here's Sam Weber. No batting gloves for Mr. Weber. New addition to Springfield's team. As Weber swinging out of his shoes, misses on the first pitch from Lucas Casey. 0-1. Casey, 46 pitches through the first 4 innings. Has been working efficiently here today. Just the second start of the season for Corvallis. The 0-1 delivery. Down and away to Weber. 1-1. Casey's primarily coming out of the bullpen, but has had a lot of success. Gave up 1 earned run in his first appearance against Yakima Valley back on June 7th. Since that point, he has yet to give up a run. So it's been over a month since he's given up a run in WCL play. Misses inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. During that stretch, he pitched against Springfield twice, throwing 2 scoreless innings on June 21st at the Hamlin Sports Complex. A 5-1 victory for Corvallis. 2-1 to Weber. Lifted in the air towards left field, and the line drive drops down in front of Blake Wilson. As Weber shot it through the 5-6 hole, he gets a single. Weber, that's his second hit as a Springfield Drifter, now 2 for 7 to start his Springfield career. So Casey threw 2 innings, just 1 hit, 4 strikeouts on June 21st. His next outing was 1 inning against Springfield. He had 3 strikeouts against the 4 batters he faced, allowing just 1 hit in a 9-4 victory for Corvallis back on July 7th, just 8 days ago, also at the Hamlin Sports Complex. First pitch to Ethan Buckley. In for a strike, 0-1. So Ethan Buckley had a double his first time up. Product from Lynn Benton Community College. Looking for his next destination. Takes down low and away, 1-1. Buckley, an incredible story. From South Africa originally, and then eventually, somehow, some way, got up to the Pacific Northwest through a connection from a friend that had played professionally in South Africa that was originally from Idaho. Buckley takes a strike in the knees, 1-2, and that friend ended up paying for him to come out to the Pacific Northwest, tour NWAC schools, and try to find a home. And out of all places, he settled on Albany, Oregon. Decided to go and be a road runner after seeing their facility and seeing them win the NWAC championship a couple of years ago, and said, I wanted to be a part of that, and eventually was this past year, winning the NWAC with the Road Runners. Takes in the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes. First South African to play in the NWAC. Now looking to be the first South African to play Division I baseball somewhere else. Perfect opportunity to display his talent here in the WCL this season. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch to Buckley. Swings the pitch low and pops it foul. First base side stays alive. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runner at first, 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Knights with the 2-0 lead thanks to 1 run in the second, 1 run in the third. Drifters trying to get 1 back here in the 5th. Casey, the right-hander from Cal State Northridge. Comes set at the waist, takes a breath, and now throws back to first. Weber in there safely. Weber this season for Springfield, no stolen bases. Appeared in just 2 games this past year at Lewis and Clark. But at LC State, no stolen bases. Two-two delivery. Runner on the move. Buckley pops it towards our way and hits the top of the press box. Foul. Do the 2-2 again to Buckley. He's only struck out 3 times this season across 9 games. Had a stretch of 3 games, June 29th, 30th, and July 10th, where he had strikeouts. Other than that, has not had another strikeout in a game. Casey throws back to first. The right-hander from CSUN has 5 strikeouts so far, including 3 last inning in the 4th. Got 3 strikeouts on 12 pitches. The right-hander working efficiently. But a long at bat here to Ethan Buckley. 6 pitches, this will be the 7th. 2-2 delivery. Down low and away. Buckley works a full count. So Weber at first after the 1-out single. Brandon Sinnett on deck for Springfield. Casey ready. Payoff pitch. Up and inside, and Buckley works a walk. First walk issued by Lucas Casey. And that'll prompt Brooke Knight to come out here in the 5th inning. 2-1. 1 out in a 2-0 game. We'll see if this is it for Lucas Casey. Again, just his 2nd start this season. Had 2 starts at Cal State Northridge this past year at CSUN. Casey from Canyon Del Oro High School will now exit. And a new pitcher coming into the game here today. So 2-1, 1 at first, 1 at second with 1 out in the top of the 5th inning. Pitching change coming here on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. New pitcher in the game for the Corvallis Knights. It's the Southpaw, Dominic Tatone, heading out to Western Oregon next season after a couple of years at Umpqua Community College. Southpaw from Roseburg, who played at Umpqua. Coach Roberts down there in the Roseburg region. Out in Douglas County, Dominic comes in for the 12th time this season for Corvallis, and he comes in for Lucas Casey, who threw 4 1/3 with 3 hits, no runs so far, credited with both base runners on base right now, with 1 out here in the 5th, 1 walk, and 5 total strikeouts for Mr. Casey from CSUN. First batter up to face off against Tatone is the left-handed hitter, Brandon Stinnett. Sacrifice bunt his first time up. Stinnett takes outside 1-0 in this lefty versus lefty battle. So Tatone this season, a 2-0 record, a 2.41 ERA in his previous 11 games. 18 2/3 innings with 14 strikeouts, 9 walks, and 13 hits allowed. Tatone out of the stretch, delivers a 1-0, a little bit high and inside. Howard throws back to first, a dangerous throw, but Consorenia stretches across the first base bag into foul territory to field the throw from Howard. Able to keep it within the infield and get it in his mitt instead of up the right field line. Could have been trouble. It's now 2 balls and no strikes from Tatone. A lefty that's thrown against Springfield twice this season. Stinnett lines the ball to the third baseman, Ferrajaro. Throw back towards second. It hit Weber. And if the throw was accurate, he might have gotten 2. Either way, it's going to be a line out to third. Out number 2. The 2 on, 2 outs here on the top of the 5th. Springfield trailing 2-0. Knights with the lead, and it's now Gage Bruce. Bruce, the Portland product, facing off against Tatone, who just committed to Western Oregon a few weeks ago ahead of that first game against Springfield. A 2-0 loss for the Corvallis Knights. One of 2 shutouts that Springfield had against Corvallis. And that was at the start of a 6-game series. It was 2 3-game series. 3 games here in Corvallis, and then a home, and home. 1 game in Springfield, 1 game here, and then another game back in Springfield. First pitch, Gage Bruce takes a strike. 0-1. Weather today was 88 degrees at first pitch, but a lot of the players I was talking to on the Springfield side mentioned that it felt a lot hotter than it actually was. Rex DeAngelis was pulled for the game earlier. He was telling me he thought it was 104 degrees out on the turf. Cooling down now with the shade on the field. Bruce swings and misses. 0-2. So Tatone gets ahead, 0-2. Looking for his 15th strikeout of the season against Springfield. He picked up a win back on June 21st at the Hamlin Sports Complex. Had 4 strikeouts in 3 innings. Only allowed 1 earned run on 2 hits. Runners on the move. Bruce swings and misses. It's a strikeout for Tatone. But he comes in and does his job. Faces 2 batters, gets a line out and a strikeout. And 2 are left stranded after 1 hit in the inning. No runs and no errors heading to the bottom of the 5th. Halfway through this game, 2-0. Corvallis with the lead here on the Drifters Live, here on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Bottom of the 5th inning, 2-0. Corvallis with the lead. Caden Starr back out there. The right-hander from Portland delivers a first pitch strike to Thomas Ferrajaro. 0-1. Ferrajaro so far 0 for 2, a ground out to third and a line out to the shortstop Elijah Maris. 82 pitches now for Starr. Drifters using him a lot here today as he misses down low, 1-1. Giving up 2 runs, only 1 was earned. Unearned run back in the second. 4 hits for Corvallis offensively, now the 3rd time through the order. 1-1 from Starr. Outside and away, 2-1. As Mike mentioned earlier today, former Drifter Bridger Holmes was drafted in the MLB draft, drafted in the 7th round by the Los Angeles Angels. Former Oregon State pitcher as well, 2-1. Laced towards right field. Ferrajaro going to be running for a while as it drops fair down into the corner, picking it up as Weber, and actually he raises his hands and says that the ball got lost in the wall. Probably would have been a triple for Ferrajaro, but instead it's just going to be a double after the ball got lost out in the right field wall. So Bridger Holmes, the former Oregon State pitcher, a transfer from Feather River Community College out in Quincy, California. He got drafted earlier today in the 7th round. Alan Embry coming out, and this may be it for Caden Starr. But exciting stuff for Bridger Holmes, a young man that threw in this ballpark, not only as a Springfield Drifter, but also as a Oregon State Beaver. Alan Embry coming out to talk things over with Caden Starr, and we'll see if this is it for Starr. Up to now 84 pitches, giving up 5 hits. It's 2-0 right now. There is a right-hander warming up in Springfield's bullpen. Can't see just yet who it is warming up. Alan Embry takes a turn back and decides that he's going to keep Starr into the game. The right-hander warming up is Blake Stavros. So Stavros, the right-hander from Bushnell, starting to get loose. Runner at second, bunt shown for Yukamoto. Picking up at third is Kinsey. The throw to first late. Yukamoto, a bunt single down the third base line. Second time today that Corvallis has utilized the bunt for a base hit. First one, Kaysen Concerina, last inning. So now Blake Wilson to the plate. 2 on, nobody out, runners on the corners. And we'll see if Yukamoto is on the move. Yukamoto this season, 11 stolen bases. Had 16 stolen bases this past year at Pacific, up in Forest Grove. Caden Starr working out of the stretch. First pitch to Wilson. Down low, Buckley just gets enough of his body in front of it to keep it around the plate. Lost it for a second, but finds it 1-0. So Bridger Holmes last season for Springfield, he had an 0-1 record for the Drifters, but he had a 2.10 ERA, and I think this was the most impressive stat for him. 37 strikeouts in the WCL in 25 2/3. That included a 10 strikeout performance against the Cowlitz Black Bears and a 7-inning effort for Holmes. The walks were certainly up there with 13 walks. The strikeouts were consistently there throughout the season. Big swing and miss pitcher. 1-0. It drops in for a strike. 1-1. He had 8 strikeouts in his first outing against Port Angeles, then followed up against Port Angeles again with 7 strikeouts in 5 innings. Then he had 7 strikeouts in 3 innings against Portland. And then he had 3 walks, 10 strikeouts in that game against Cowlitz, and then finished his Drifters career with 5 strikeouts, no walks in 6 innings. Picked up the loss against Ridgefield in a 6-0 win for the Raptors. But last season for Springfield certainly was a stud, and rightfully so, was drafted this year after a phenomenal first year at Oregon State. Ball bounces in. Running down towards second is Yukamoto. Yukamoto on the run from the pitch, a stolen base, and now 2 in scoring position. Nobody out here on the bottom of the 5th. Knights a chance to extend their lead. They're leading 2-0 right now. Blake Wilson, 1 for 2, a double, a run scored, and a fly out. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Down low. 3-1. Holmes, 6'4", 215. He almost didn't go to Oregon State. He didn't really want to be a Beaver as much as he wanted to be a Duck. He really Grew up an Oregon fan. His dad was an offensive lineman for the University of Oregon and didn't have any offers out of high school. Went to Feather River Community College. A star. It's a swing and a miss on a 3-1 pitch, and it's now 3-2. And so senior season was canceled because of COVID. Wasn't the strongest at that point. Decided to go the JUCO route. Ended up at Feather River due to an assistant coach that he knew there that had previously coached at his high school. And somehow found his way back to the Beaver State. Ground ball up the middle. Stinnett Fields on one hop, throws to first. Ghana can't pick it. And a run's going to come in and score in Ferrajaro. Still nobody out. Knights extend the lead. It's now 3-0 Corvallis. And I believe it's going to be another error for Springfield. As of right now, they've not put an additional error on the board, so this may go down as an infield hit. And it brings up Brandon Cabrera now. RBI single, his last time up, a line out to center field before that. First pitch from Starr. Up and inside, 1-0. So it is going to go down as an infield single for Blake Wilson. Picks up an RBI with that. Yukamoto over to third. Runners on the corners, still nobody out here in the bottom of the fifth. Caden Starr trying to get through this inning. Right-hander comes to the plate, down and inside, 2-0. So Holmes went to Feather River, spent a couple of seasons there, and then went to Springfield last season ahead of his journey to Corvallis. And then a great season with the Beavers. Let him be drafted in the 7th round by buddy Joe Krasnowski, who works over for the Eugene Emeralds as a staff writer down there. He's a big Angels guy. And before the draft had started, looked at me and said, I have a good feeling that the Angels are going to draft Bridger Holmes. And certainly he was right. Runner goes. Wilson slides into second without a throw. A pump fake from Buckley behind the plate. So another stolen base for Corvallis, second of the inning. 5th overall of the game. Running wild on this Drifters team. 2 in scoring position, nobody out, 3-0 the score. Brandon Cabrera a chance here at the plate to really bust this game open. 2-1 from Starr. Grounded towards third. Kinsey Fields now going to try to get in a pickle if Yukamoto throws home, gets the out there. After the tag of I believe actually Jackson Upton into the game now. And Buckley, I believe, taken out. And so Jackson Upton applies the tag on Yukamoto at the plate. First down's recorded. Now runners on the corners on the fielder's choice play. Upton, the catcher from Yakima Valley College. She's actually pitched more this season for Springfield than caught. Didn't come in as a pitcher, but Alan Embry really likes his arm, and he's utilized him quite a bit on the bump. First pitch from Starr here to Kevin Takeuchi. Misses down low, 1-0 to the WCL leader in RBIs. Takeuchi hitless in his last 4 games. Just 1 hit in his last 6. Throw back to first. Cabrera dives back safely. So a little bit of a slump for Takeuchi. A strikeout and a walk so far today. The walks of the season, though, have been certainly up for Takeuchi. 25 total walks this season. Throw back to first. Ghana trying to tag out Cabrera. Starr keeping a check on Cabrera. This season for Corvallis has 14 stolen bases. So a lot of speed at first base. Runners on the corners. Drifters would love to turn 2. Cabrera dancing around at first. Pitch in for a strike. Low outside corner, 1-1. And the Knights fans certainly did not agree with that call from Anthony Artini, home plate umpire. One, Cabrera on the move. Pitch down and away, and Cabrera takes second base with ease. So another stolen base for the Knights. Double play out of question. 2 balls and 1 strike to Kevin Takeuchi. Beautiful day for baseball here in the Mid-Valley. Corvallis, Oregon, certainly the epicenter of WCL baseball. 2-1, popped in the air towards right field. Drifting back is Sam Weber, fielding it near the track, and he makes the catch to throw it in. Coming in to score from third base is Blake Wilson, and the Knights extend the lead. It is 4-0 thanks to the sacrifice fly from Kevin Takeuchi, who adds on to his WCL lead in RBIs, gets his 30th of the season on that sacrifice fly. So now Kaysen Consolini with a runner at third, 2 outs, and a 4-0 game here in the bottom of the 5th. Knights with 2 runs coming in already in this inning. Starr throws a strike in, 0-1. So I will say, Caden Starr today just 3 walks. Certainly has kept the walks a little bit down compared to his previous outings. Had 6 walks in his last outing against Portland. Only lasted 2 1/3 in a 14-4 loss. Bounces one in, 1-1. Gave up 4 earned runs on just 1 hit in those 6 walks. Ended up getting pulled against Portland, and before that he gave up 3 walks against Cowlitz, but he was excellent. Just 1 hit through 6 innings against the Black Bears. The walks certainly have been there, averaging about 3 a game. Up and inside, now 2 balls and 1 strike to Kaysen. Consolini so far, a pop-up and a single. Swinging a baby blue bat. Certainly fitting for the UCLA product. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Up and away. 3-1. So 3 balls, 1 strike. Starr looking for the final out for Springfield. The pitch in. Consolini takes down low, and that's walk number 4 of the day for Caden Starr. Brings up the 7th batter of the inning, Tyler Howard. Starr still throwing out there. Thrown 18 pitches so far in this inning, approaching 100. He's at 99 pitches right now, and Alan Embry coming out. This may be it for Caden Starr. After the walk, runners on the corners. Looks like Blake Stavros creeping in from the bullpen. Stavros going to come in. Alan Embry takes the ball from Caden Starr. We'll tell you all about Blake Stavros on the other half of this break here on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Bottom of the fifth inning, it's 4-0. Corvallis with the lead, 2 on and 2 outs. And the new pitcher in the game for Caden Starr is Blake Stavros. Stavros, a right-hander from Bushnell University, appearing for the 11th time this season. He has an 0-1 record, a 9.23 ERA. In 12 and 2/3 innings, 5 strikeouts, 8 walks this season. Coming off an outing a couple of days ago against Ridgefield. 3 days ago, gave up 4 earned runs on 4 hits in a 5-8 loss in 13 innings. It's a long one. The Drifters had to use a lot of the arsenal in that 13-inning game. And victory went to Ridgefield despite the Drifters leading 5-4 entering the 9th inning. So here's Tyler Howard, swings at the first pitch, grounds it to Kinsey, bobbled it for a second, barehands it, and then throws to first base. And that'll do it for Tyler Howard. Caden Starr, his final line, 4 2/3, 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 were earned, 4 walks, a strikeout, and 99 total pitches. 7 batters coming up at the inning. Ultimately, a total of 3 hits with 2 left stranded. We'll now head on to the 6th inning. It's 4-0 Corvallis after 2 runs come in the 5th. Here on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Airport. We want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
Knights fans, looking for an amazing deal? Come down to Wilson Motors. Visit us today and get free tickets to Wilson Motors Night with the Corvallis Knights on July 24th. It's a night you won't want to miss. Exciting baseball, great company, and fantastic giveaways. While you're here, check out our wide variety of vehicles. From sleek sedans to rugged trucks, we've got something for everyone. Wilson Motors, the one-stop shop for unbeatable deals and unforgettable nights. Hurry in and score your tickets today at Wilson Motors on
Top of the 6th inning, 4-0 Corvallis with the lead. Dominic Tatone back out there for the Corvallis Knights here in this 4-0 ball game. 4 runs, 7 hits, and air defensively for Corvallis. No runs, 3 hits, 2 airs defensively for Springfield. First pitch in for a strike to Garrett Cooper in this lefty versus lefty battle. 0-1 to Cooper, who's 0 for 2, a strikeout and a flyout so far. Tatone's 0-1 pitch. Looked at down low, 1-1 from Tatone, the pride of Roseburg. Great day for baseball out here in the Mid-Valley. A lot of kids running around here today for this Knights baseball game and Mac's birthday. So we're going to miss from Cooper 1-2. It reminds me of my youthful days going to games. The Lancaster Jethawks, a Class A advanced baseball team back in the day. They're no longer in existence, but great team that used to play out in the hangar in Lancaster, California. Tatone, a swing and a miss to Cooper, and he gets his second strikeout. 1 away here in the top of the 6th. Speaking of the Jethawks, though, a former Lancaster Jethawk, Teoscar Hernandez, just won the MLB Home Run Derby that was happening today. Apologies for anybody that was recording the Home Run Derby, but T.O. did pull off the victory today for the Los Angeles Dodgers. T.O., the home run hitter, won it as Elijah Maris takes down and away 1-0. So congratulations to Oscar Hernandez winning the MLB Home Run Derby here. Both the Knights and the Drifters, not a ton of home runs this season. In fact, Corvallis offensively last in the league in home runs hit this season. Swing and a miss by Maris. 1-1. I think the most impressive statistic, if you have to mention any about the home run hitting of the Knights, despite them being 16th in the league, well, they have 4 home runs hit. 3 of them have been one guy, Kevin Takeuchi. Maris swings and misses on the 1-1, and it's now quickly 1-2 from Dominic Tatone. Came in last inning for Lucas Casey. Casey finished with 4 1/3, 3 hits, no runs, a walk, and 5 strikeouts on 60 pitches. And now Tatone, the southpaw. This is down low, 2-2. Started with a line out to third to Brandon Snett. Picked up a strikeout to Gage Bruce to end the inning. And now starts here in the sixth with a strikeout, looking for back-to-back-to-back. Dating back to last inning here with 2 balls and 2 strikes to Maris. The pitch hit up the middle on the ground. Yukamoto Fields, the shortstop, throws across. Consolina keeps the toe on the bag and gets out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down to start this inning, and it'll bring up Andrew Ghana for the first time today. Ghana comes in for Rex DeAngelis, who went 0 for 2. DeAngelis 2 strikeouts, both swinging. They both came against Lucas Casey, Andrew Ghana's teammate at Cal State Northridge. So Ghana doesn't get to face off against his teammate. And now Titone's first pitch is grounded towards first. Consolina picks it up and taps on the bag to retire Ghana, batting .215 on the season, entering today. 3 up, 3 down, the Drifters go in the top of the 6th inning. 4-0 the score, Corvallis leading here on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Now we're going to the bottom of the 6th right now?
Correct. Bottom of the 6th inning, 4-0 the score. Corvallis with the lead, trying to extend their lead with Blake Stavros on the bunt. First pitch from Stavros, popped in the air towards right field. Giving chase is Sam Weber, the right fielder from LC State. He reaches over and makes the catch over his shoulder. 1 pitch, 1 out to begin the 6th inning with Kellen Siegel flying out to right field. To his counterpart, Sam Weber. So now brings up Peyton Miller, a second baseman today from Gonzaga, 0 for 2, 2 ground outs to his counterpart, and Brandon Stinnett. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Corvallis, a 4-0 lead thanks to 1 run in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, and then 2 in the bottom of the 5th. Springfield, no offense in the top of the 6th inning. 1-2-3 for Dominic Titone. Stavros bounces one in, now 1-0. So defensively now for Springfield, Garrett Cooper in left field, Gage Bruce in center field, Sam Weber in right, Kedron Kinsey at third, Elijah Maris the shortstop, Brandon Stinnett at second, Andrew Ghana at first base, and Jackson Upton catching. Bunt shown up the first base side, picking up his Stavros barehanded, throws to first and gets the out. Really athletic play from Stavros. Was able to fire it over to Andrew Ghana. 3 pitches, 2 outs to begin this inning for Stavros. His first full inning out of the bullpen. Stavros has thrown twice against Corvallis this season. Didn't give up a run in 1 inning against 4 batters back on June 20th. And then on June 23rd, through 1 2/3, allowed 2 runs on 1 hit and a walk. First pitch to Thomas Ferrajaro. In for a strike, 0-1. Ferrajaro so far 1 for 3. A double, a run scored last inning in the 5th. Part of the 2-run, 7-bat inning for Corvallis. Stavros misses down low, 1-1. Matt Uretsky, happy to be with you this afternoon on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Mike Parker going to be taking over for the final 3 innings after this 6th inning. Always an honor to get to share the mic with him. 1-1, line towards Maris. He leaps up, makes the catch, and that's the inning. 3 up, 3 down, the Knights go. Blake Stavros, an impressive, efficient, quick bottom of the 6th inning. We go to the 7th. Mike Parker going to take over for inning 7, 8, and 9 here on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
News that you can trust. Subscribe to the Gazette-Times, your go-to source for in-depth journalism and breaking news. From local stories that impact your community to consistent updates to your Beavers and Knights, the Gazette-Times has it all. For only $1 for 3 months, enjoy unlimited access to our e-edition, unlimited articles on GazetteTimes.com and our mobile app, and free access to newspapers.com archives. Subscribe today and join the Gazette-Times community, where Knights fans looking for an amazing deal? Come down to Wilson Motors. Visit us today and get free tickets to Wilson Motors Night with the Corvallis Knights on July 24th. It's a night you won't want to miss. Exciting baseball, great company, and fantastic giveaways. While you're here, check out our wide variety of vehicles. From sleek sedans to rugged trucks, we've got something for everyone. Wilson Motors, your one-stop shop for unbeatable deals and unforgettable nights. Hurry in and score your tickets today at Wilson Motors on
Top of the 7th inning, it is 4-0. Corvallis with the lead. Dominic Tatone, the left-hander out of Roseburg, who's just committed to Western Oregon a few weeks ago ahead of that first series against Springfield after a couple of seasons at Umpqua Community College. Working under Coach Robbins out there at Umpqua Community College. Coach Robbins, of course, the former LC State coach, now at Umpqua. And so Tatone, his guy, now going to Western Oregon. And for the final 3 innings of play-by-play, it's the great Mike Parker.
I don't know who you're talking about, but I appreciate it, Knight. Great to have you with us on a beautiful evening for baseball. Through 6 innings at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, the Knights 4 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. Springfield no runs, 3 hits, and 2 errors. Dominic Tatone to work in the top of the 7th inning. The left-hander's first pitch to Dylan Osborne, high and inside. The 1-0 pitch, chopped foul in front of the Springfield Drifters dugout. No first base coach at the moment for the Drifters. Rocco Ferrari at third. Sam Olson not at his post at first for whatever reason on this warm and gorgeous night in the Mid-Valley before one of the biggest crowds of the year. The 1-1 pitch, slider for a strike from Dominic, and the count 1-2 to Dylan Osborne, who's been aboard on an error and struck out looking. Good ball game. The Knights a run in the second, a run in the third, 2 in the fifth. Tatone to the plate, a breaking ball, line to center field, base hit. Brandon Cabrera hesitated, thought about coming on hard to maybe lay out for the ball, but hit right in front of him. That would have been a tough chance. He finally cut his losses and decided just to let it land in front of him. A good decision. A line drive single for Dylan Osborne to open the top of the 7th for Springfield. That brings to the plate Kedron Kinsey with Dominic Tatone and the Knights trying to bring this one home and get back on the customary track of winning West Coast League games. The Knights losing the last 2, Saturday and Sunday in Walla Walla. The pitch to Kedron Kinsey, a strike. Kedron's grounded into a double play and grounded to short. Osborne held on at first by Kaysen Consarina. The strike 1 pitch from Dominic Tatone. Knee high on the outer half, strike 2. 0-2 the count. Dominic Tatone, as Knight just mentioned, getting ready to go to Western Oregon. I had the pleasure of meeting during Knight's innings several folks here in the crowd tonight enjoying Knights baseball. The strike two pitch, a dunker to shallow center field. Going out as Tai Yukamoto makes an over-the-shoulder catch on the run. What a ball player, Tai Yukamoto. Another outstanding play. One away, that looked as though it was going to fall into no man's land in straightaway center, but Yukamoto, as he is wont to do, getting the right read and using his athletic ability to run it down. Good play. One away, Sam Weber, the batter. Sam is grounded to short and singled to left. I met a young athlete, student athlete at Philomath High School, part of Philomath and its amazing run, 3 straight 4A state championships in girls track and field. And she is with on a date night, daughter and dad suite event. Brad Halesto to my right with his daughter Janice, who will be a senior at Philomath High. The 1-0 pitch swung on and missed, and the count 1-1, and she's being recruited by Western Oregon and has a spot on the team there, so she may end up getting to know Dominic Tatone. However, she also is being recruited by the University of Idaho. The 1-1 pitch, breaking ball down and in, and the count 2-1. She was the 4A athlete of the state meet in the spring of 2023. She runs the 100, the 200, the 4x100. She told me her favorite event is the long jump. She said she's really getting serious about track and field now that she knows she's pretty good at it. The pitch is lifted to left field off the bat of Sam Weber. Blake Wilson is right there to make the catch. 2 down. And coming to the plate will be the new catcher getting his first at-bat, Jackson Upton, who took over defensively for Ethan Buckley. Upton, coming to the plate here in the top of the 7th. Dylan Osborne, a leadoff single, still at first with 2 down. Dominic Tatone out of the stretch. The lefty to the plate. First pitch just misses, ball 1, 1-0. A real pleasure in this big crowd. And in fact, it was Janice Celeste who kind of let me in a little bit on why. The mystery of the huge gathering tonight. Papa's Pizza, perhaps the biggest catalyst for the crowd, in that they've been giving away tickets to customers during the last couple of weeks, kind of quietly, but giving a lot of tickets away. And we see a lot of young people here enjoying Mac the Knight's birthday with all of the aforementioned mascots. The 2-0 pitch, a strike to Jackson Upton. The count 2-1. 2 outs, a man aboard. The Knights leading 4-0 in the 7th. But whatever the reason, many people have decided Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, the place to be on this gorgeous Monday night. The 2-1 pitch swung out and missed. The count to Jackson, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dylan Osborne at first, 2 down. Dominic Tatone and Tyler Howard, the Knights battery, conspiring now to try to put Jackson Upton away and get the inning over. Upton fouls one to the right and out of play. And taking a look above the Omaha room, a waxing moon, a little more than halfway. We look to the southern skies and see a little bit more than halfway. Beautiful night. I just can't get over how gorgeous it is. The 2-2 pitch just outside, ball 3, 3-2. Just perfect. And a couple of other folks. What brings you out tonight? Well, just looked like a great night to be at the ballpark, and they're right. A lot of people having the same idea this evening. Dylan Osborne will run on the pitch. Concerina playing behind him at first. There he goes. The 3-2 pitch is taken high and inside for ball 4. Good plate appearance for Jackson Upton. 2 on and 2 out for Eli Kennel. No, pardon me, not Ryder Dykstra appears to be a pinch hitter coming in now. And it is. The Springfield Drifters sending left-hand hitting Ryder Dykstra to the plate. A build very similar to that, a former Knight and former Beaver, Eli Kennel. Ryder Dykstra pinch hits here in the top of the 7th with 2 on and 2 out. The Knights leading 4-0 in what has been a very pleasant, kind of cool, calm evening. Could tighten up in a hurry if Dykstra gets a hold of one. powerfully built left-handed hitter awaits Dominic Tatone, the southpaw's first pitch, with 2 on and 2 out. Ryder takes a fastball away, ball 1, 1-0. Had the pleasure of meeting Mark and Helen Seyfried from Boise, coming to their first ever Knights game tonight. Dykstra takes a strike and the count 1-1. Talking about floating the Boise River. We talked about the mishaps, the tragedies. Mishaps not the right word. The tragedies on the Willamette in the last few days. Told them of an experience our family had on the Deschutes, which was very frightening too. 2 on and 2 out. The 1-1 breaking ball pulled foul past Coach Olson, who's now at his post. 1-2 the count. But Helen, of the Mark and Helen Seyfried, came to the United States from Australia when she was 27. Met Mark at the University of Florida. Moved to Boise with their daughter. They raised their daughter Georgia there. Georgia met Zane in college, and they're all here tonight taking in their first Knights game. The 1-2 pitch away, ball 2, and I just asked, okay, well, what brings you tonight? And they just said, well, we're thinking about Monday night. What is there to do in Corvallis on a warm summer night? And they all said, hey, let's see if the Knights are playing. And they were. They are. And here they are. Great to have you all with us tonight. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 out. 4-0 Knights in the 7th. Dominic Tatone glances at Osborne, delivers a 2-2 pitch high. Howard throws down to first. Jackson Upston gets back. The count goes full to 3-2 to the pinch hitter Dykstra. The runners will go on the pitch. Osborne from second, Upton from first. The 3-2 pitch to Dykstra is outside to load him up. And Brooke Knight is coming out of the Knights dugout, and he looks like a man on a mission. Which mission appears to be to bring someone else in. Tatone allowed a single to open the inning, then got a couple of quick outs. A good play by Tai Yukamoto out in shallow left center, a fly out to left, but back-to-back walks have loaded the bases, bringing the tying run to the plate. And one other thing that I want to say I'm very grateful for tonight, I've mentioned Steve Kimmel, my friend, sitting next to me often during these Knights games through the summer. Steve and his wife Tina and their daughter Sarah are here, and he's getting into a woodworking business with custom-made carvings of different kinds, and he's just beginning it, and he brought me a cherry wood carving. One-of-a-kind designs artistic woodcraft by Steve Kimmel. One-of-a-kind designs artistic woodcraft. Steve Kimmel is the proprietor. And he brought me a plaque. He asked me the other night a verse that I may enjoy. That's a big subject, but one of my life favorites has always been, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things. It's beautiful poetry from the 1611 version, by the way, but it is beautiful poetry. It's powerful and beautiful thought. And I'll say this, for those who may not be given to any sort of religious tract or bent, that's not religion. That's not doctrinaire. That's not any particular worldview. It is a brilliant man writing 2,000 years ago about a good way to live, if you want to view it that way. And when he gives you that kind of counsel to think on things that are true, honest, just, pure, lovely, of good report, virtue, and praise, then I find nothing to quibble with other than to say thank you for that kind of encouragement and exhortation. And don't even think of it in terms of a particular religious theology, but rather an ideal way that we all, I would hope, would strive to try to go about our life's business living that way. It ain't easy, and I think we all need help in that respect. And then you can start getting into theological doctrine and all that if you want to, but it's not necessary when it comes to what St. Paul said 2,000 years ago about that. So it's always been something that's meant a lot to me. And Steve Kimmel has carved those words on a piece of cherry wood and presented that to me tonight here at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. And it's a wonderful gift, Steve. Thank you so much. So that's the pitching change. Brought to you by one-of-a-kind designs, artistic woodcraft by Steve Kimmel. And he didn't give this to me to give him a plug, but I'm just saying, check him out. I think you'll be pleased. He's just getting a business going. And I'm blessed to have a gift from Steve and his wife Tina here tonight as we see if the Knights' new pitcher coming in here in the top of the 7th inning, Mason Goodson, bases loaded, 2 down with a 4-0 lead, can find his way through. He finds the mid of Tyler Howard, but over the head and nearly behind the Drifters batter, Gage Bruce. Ball 1, 1-0. 4-0 Knights in the 7th. Things have begun quietly, but Springfield appears as though it's about to make a big bang of sorts in this ballgame. Down 4-0, but the bases loaded, and the 1-0 pitch is in the turf for ball 2, 2-0. Goodson needs a strike here. The ballgame becomes altogether too tense and tight. It's just been this beautiful, warm summer evening. It feels like all that's about to change. So I need to think on pure and just and lovely things. Goodson from the stretch with the bases loaded and 2 down. The 2-0 pitch, a ground ball wide of first. Fielded by Conserina. Underhands to Goodson covering. And whatsoever things are pure, true, just, and lovely. I thought on those things and the inning is over. The putout goes 3-1. Good job by Mason Goodson. The Drifters threaten, they leave 3. We go to the bottom of the 7th. The Knights 4 and the Drifters nothing on the Knights live stream. And back in 2 minutes, since we missed out on some pitching break, we'll be back in 2 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Ty Yukamoto back to his old tricks. A bouncer back up the middle. To the right goes Brandon Stinnett. Throws to first. Not in time. Ty Yukamoto, the all-star, beats it out. He's playing tremendous defense. Had a bunt single and a stolen base in his last at-bat. And gets a leadoff single for the Knights here in the bottom of the 7th inning with the Knights leading 4-0. Blake Wilson, the batter. A throw to first base and Yukamoto back to the bag. The Boiseans are leaving, but I hope they enjoyed their first Corvallis Knights experience. I told them I hope to see them when the Beaver football team plays in Boise bright and early the day after Thanksgiving They said, we'll probably sit that one out. It's going to be cold. November 29th, I can't even remember the date, but I know the Beavers play Boise State the day after Thanksgiving in Boise at 10 a.m. Pacific time. 9 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. local time. The 1-0 pitch to Blake Wilson is hit into Urchin Alley. There are about 5 baseballs that have landed on the entryway vomitory into Dixon Recreation. And the kids, I would discourage it. In fact, I would even try to put a halt to it if they try to make a human ladder to go up and get those baseballs. While I would admire their ingenuity, the pitch to Blake Wilson hits Blake in the upper back, and he'll trot down to first, Yukamoto to second. It's a type of activity, I know it smacks of being a killjoy, but it's a little too dangerous. I've seen kids do it. Climb their way up into that thing to gather the baseballs. They're tempting, they're alluring. There's 5 of them up there, but a little too dangerous, and I'm not seeing that activity taking shape. So we play on. The alley seems safe at the moment. Yukamoto at second, Wilson at first, Brandon Cabrera the batter. We'll see if Brooke asks Brandon to bunt with the Knights leading 4-0 in the bottom of the 7th. He doesn't, and Cabrera takes a strike, at least on the first pitch. No bunt shown. Brandon has lined to center, singled home a run, and popped out. Bounced into a fielder's choice, I should say, and stole a base. 2 on, nobody out. 0-1. The runners go. Cabrera chops one foul, back of third. Both Yukamoto and Wilson had good jumps. They would have had the bag stolen. But with an 0-1 count, it was a hit-and-run play. And now the count 0-2 to Cabrera. Blake Stavros out of the stretch, glances back at Ty, comes to the plate with a breaking ball just inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Brandon Cabrera. Ty Yukamoto, a leadoff single. He's at second. Blake Wilson at first. The 1-2 pitch hit high in the air, back of third. Moving over is the shortstop, Elijah Maris. The infield fly rule was not invoked. And the catch is made. The runners hold. 1 gone. Well, I spoke too soon. Somebody, an older kid, found a way up on his own without creating a human ladder, and he's tucking about 5 baseballs into the pockets of his shorts. He made it, and I hope he that at least will share the bounty with the other youngsters, the other urchins in the alley when he jumps down from the Dixon Rec entryway roof. So I did speak too soon. One enterprising teenage urchin has 5 baseballs in his pockets. 1 away, the batter is Luke Lavin. The runners go, the pitch dropped by Jackson Upton, no throw. 2 more stolen bases for the Knights. Yukamoto into third, Blake Wilson into second. Kevin Takeuchi lifted now for the pinch hitter, Luke Lavin. And what Brandon wasn't able to do in moving the runners, the Knights runners do on their own. They're in scoring position now for Luke. The 1-0 fastball inside, ball 2, 2-0. Bottom of the 7th inning, 4-0 Knights. The attendance tonight is listed as 1,395. Rarely do I quibble when I'm given attendance figures and totals, but I quibble a little with it. It looks much larger than that to me, closer to 2. I thought it would come in around 1,900 or 2 or 21 maybe. 1,395, which is a good crowd. But I thought it was much larger, maybe because the majority of the fans are very near our vantage point. The pitch missing to Luke Lavin from the right-hander Blake Stavros. The 3-0 pitch is in there for a strike. Runners at second and third and one out. The Knights leading 4-0. Coach Alan Embry playing his infield at normal depth. From the stretch, Stavros kicks and delivers, and Luke swings and fouls it to the left and out of play. Count going full to 3-2. Luke looking for at least a scoring fly ball. He has 7 runs batted in for the Knights this summer, has a chance for at least one, if not two. A base hit would get 2 in. Yukamoto and Wilson, tremendous speed. Ty from third, Blake from second. 3-2 to Luke, who swings and lines it down the left field line. He's going to get his 2 RBIs. Yukamoto scores, Blake Wilson right behind him. Lavin in a second with a 2-run double. The Knights lead it 6-0. Luke Lavin sending a double down the left field line. Good opposite field approach on Luke's part. He now has 9 RBIs on the year. Alan Embry walks out of the Springfield Drifters dugout and has already signaled that he wants to bring a new arm into the game. This time, no meditation on St. Paul or anything else. We will take a 2-minute pitching change break as the Knights score 2. Thank you so much, Amanda. We'll take a break. The Knights 6, Springfield nothing. Back in 2 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Six to nothing Knights in the bottom of the 7th inning. Luke Lavin delivering a 2-run double, and that chases Blake Stavros and brings right-hander Billy Dobson, 6'1", 190, into the ball game. Billy out of Junction City and goes to work on Kaysen Consarinho with 1 out, 2 runs in. Luke Lavin at second. 6-0 Knights. Misses on the first pitch to Kaysen. Dobson back to the plate in there for a strike, and the count 1-1. Billy Dotson, I should say. I'm calling him Dobson. I didn't think that was quite right. Twilight time and the aged eyes not reading the roster properly. Billy Dotson, 6'1", 190. Misses with a 1-1 pitch to Kaysen. Billy went to Junction City High School, attends Ottawa University, Arizona. The right-hander back to the plate. Hit sharply to left field. Moving over is Garrett Cooper to make the catch. Garrett well positioned to haul it in. Concerina, solid contact, but an out. 2 down in the inning, and the Knights catcher Tyler Howard strides to the plate. Tyler has walked twice. He picked up his first stolen base of the season in the second. He grounded to third in his last at-bat. Luke Lavin at second with 2 down. The Knights leading 6-0. First pitch breaking ball strike from Dotson. 0-1 the count. Billy making his 8th appearance. He started 5 games, 34 and a third innings. Howard swings, hits one to right field, but playable, right in the path of the right fielder who hauls it in to retire the side. And the Knights get 2 on the 2-run double. The Drifters making a change from Sam Weber to a different outfielder, I believe, and I'll try to get Knight to confirm just whom that is, but no longer Sam Weber out in right. But the out recorded. The Knights get 2. We go to the 8th. The Knights 6 and the Drifters nothing back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
Top of the 8th inning, 6-0 Knights. Mason Goodson to work on the upright one, Garrett Cooper. The first pitch of the left-handed hitter is in there for a strike, and I speak that of his physical stature as he stands in. Certainly believe and hope that he's that way too, an upright soul. But he does have a very upright stance, Yastrzemski-esque, and I refer not to Mike but to Yaz, the original number 8. Swung on and missed. The count 0-2. 6-0 Knights in the 8th. The Knights staff is here. Ayla Rivera, Rachel McConaughey, Casey Tagawa, Jasmine Williams, Kyle Woody, and the voice of the Drifters, Knight Uretsky. The strike 2 pitch missing, and the count 1-2. The West Coast League is a tremendous league, 16 teams in the league, and the opportunities that are available for young people going to school themselves to work in the summer, get a taste of a professional organization, in this case baseball, even though the Knights are a woodbat collegiate amateur league. It's a professional organization in all ways. A ground ball to second, fielded cleanly by Peyton Miller. He throws to Concerina for the out to get Garrett, some Joe named Cooper. One away, and Elijah Maris, who has singled to left, struck out and grounded to short. I say the some Joe named Cooper only in honor of the great Alan North and Leslie Nielsen in the 6-episode sequence in the summer, I think, of '82, Police Squad. Only 6 episodes, a summer fill-in series, from which all of the Naked Gun movies and others sprang. Police Squad. Some Joe named Cooper. Who is this Joe Cooper? No, it's Saul Cooper. He's the comptroller, Frank. Oh, okay. The phrase has stuck with me forever. Some Joe named Garrett Cooper just grounds out. Now Elijah Maris takes in the turf, ball 1. And the 1-0 pitch drills Maris in the back. Mason Goodson had that one get away. And Elijah heads down to first base, bringing Andrew Ghana to the plate. Ghana grounded out to first in his only at-bat. He took over at first base for Rex DeAngelis, who had struck out twice. Andrew Ghana, the batter, 6-0 Knights in the 8th inning. Our own Delaney is here waiting for me to declare unto her, our Washington Park Advisors, player of the game. The pitch from Mason Goodson, a strike, and the count 0-1. And I have known Delaney, and while I give last names to the Drifters staff, I've only known Delaney by Delaney these last couple of summers, and I want to give her proper credit. If I'm going to give Drifters last names, I need to know our own people. The strike 1 pitch is swung on and missed. I know Taylor Pullen, but I don't know a lot of the other last names. Fiedler, thank you. Delaney Fiedler. You didn't have an uncle or an author named Leslie, did you? Ever heard of Leslie Fiedler in your family? Okay, not that you know him. Okay. No balls and 2 strikes. Breaking ball lined into right field, base hit. Kellen Siegel plays it on a hop and gets the baseball back in. Stopping at second base is Elijah Maris. With 1 out, the Drifters, who last inning showed a little bit of feistiness, loading the bases before Mason Goodson came in to get the final out of the inning, getting Gage Bruce with the sacks full and the score 4-0 at the time to get the final out. Now Mason with 1 out hits a batter, gives up a base hit, and now Dylan Osborne at the plate with the Drifters trying to find their way through to a big hit and get back in the game here in the 8th. 2 on, 1 out, 6-0 Knights. Goodson from the stretch delivers fastball high, ball 1, 1-0. In fact, Delaney, if you don't mind, put the headset on for just a second. I'm going to talk to you on the air here for a bit to see just what it is in your experience, as an intern with the Knights for the 2nd straight summer. Delaney Fiedler joining me. The pitch on the way is lifted foul to the left by Dylan Osborne and out of play. When I mention opportunities for internships with the Knights and praise them, saying they're good things, and the other 16 teams in the West Coast League, why is it that you kind of gravitated here, and what is it that you're kind of learning these last couple of summers?
Honestly, I kind of just found this internship at random,
Okay.
and this is really something that I wanted to do, was more work in Major League sports, mostly baseball if I had the opportunity to. But last year I was the hospitality intern, and this year I am social media. So it's been different each summer, but it's been a great opportunity. I've learned so much. I've met so many people that will really help me with connections in the future, and I really believe that the Knights staff is just like some of the best staff out there.
Good for you, Delaney. I'm glad you're getting a wide-ranging experience, too. The social media thing sounds fascinating in its own right. We'll talk about what that looks like here in a moment. 1-2 the count. Mason Goodson to the plate. Slider. Tremendous pitch. It just missed in the count 2-2. So what is it that you do in the social media space?
At the moment, I kind of just post everything that goes on the Instagram and the Facebook. Any posts, any stories. That's me and our the other social intern, Olivia. We both do that together. And we also run the TikTok. We help Dan do Twitter, but he mostly does that. But really, honestly, it's kind of just super cool to be the person that's like, yeah, I posted that, or yeah, I made that. So
Nice. You try to get as creative as you can, and yeah, good for you. Good stuff. a pitch clock violation, runs the count full, 3-2 to Dylan Osborne. Mason Goodson working deliberately, comes 3-2. Osborne fouls it to the left and out of play. The Knights leading 6-0, top of the 8th, but the Drifters with a threat of sorts. Elijah Maris at second, Andrew Ghana at first, 1 out. Dylan Osborne at the plate with Kedron Kinsey on deck. Goodson looking to make a tough pitch, 3-2, and does. Swung on and missed. First strike, 3. 2 down. Excellent pitch by Mason Goodson, and that brings Kedron Kinsey to the plate. So you said you kind of found it by random, but now you're really all in on it. What are you studying? Where are you going to school, and what are you studying?
I go up to Corbin University up in Salem. It's a smaller school, but I am studying marketing and sports and program management. So I kind of just had looked up some internships in the area, and this was a little far down south for me, but the first summer I did it, it was amazing, and I loved every second of it, and so I texted Derek, our boss, and decided that it was best for me to come back.
Excellent. You commute from the Salem area?
I do.
Okay. That's not a bad drive, though, right?
It's honestly not. It's a straight shot down I-5.
Kedron Kinsey taking in the turf, ball 1-0. 2 on, 2 out, 6-0 Knights. The 1-0 fastball just missed to Kinsey for ball 2. So which high school did you go to?
I'm actually from Spokane, Washington. So I went to Mount Spokane High School.
Mount Spokane.
Yep.
But going to Corbin. And what year are you going to be in the fall?
I will go into my junior year.
Okay, good for you.
Yeah.
2 balls, no strikes, 2 on and 2 out. The Knights leading 6-0. Mason Goodson from the stretch. The right-hander to the plate, way outside. In fact, off the mid of Tyler Howard to the backstop on ball 3. Maris into third base. Andrew Ghana into second. The count 3-0 to Kedron Kinsey. And once again, Sam Goodson in a position where last inning, he inherited a bases-loaded situation and kept the 0 on the board. Now he's trying to pitch through a little bit of trouble. The 3-0 pitch misses, and that loads the bases again. Back-to-back innings, Mason Goodson dealing with the bases loaded and 2 down. He got the final out last inning. Tyler Howard is told to go out and visit Mason. Whether that means there's a pitching change coming, we'll see. The Drifters have the bases loaded, and Sam Weber comes to the plate with 2 down. The Knights leading 6-0. Did you like what you're doing now in social media better than the hospitality part of it, or were they both good experiences?
They honestly, they're experiences of their own.
Yeah.
But I did find out last summer that hospitality is not for me.
Okay.
It definitely takes a certain personality, I will say, to do that. And that's just not me. But that's why when I talked to Derek and we decided it was best for me to become social media.
And are you enjoying that a lot more?
Yes,
Okay.
I am having so much fun with it.
Sam Weber, the batter. Goodson with the sacks full, delivers. Weber swings and misses. The count 0-1. And so now you sit and wait. Oftentimes you come up, you want to find out from me who the Washington Park Advisors player of the game is. Not always the easiest choice. What do you do with that information after I give it to you?
I go on Canva and I make the post for the story. And we are now starting.
Strike 1 pitch, banged into center field, base hit. 2 runs will score. Brandon Cabrera gets the ball back in, and the Drifters kind of drifting back into this ball game with 2 outs. They've cut the Knights' lead from 6-0 to 6-2 on a 2-run single for Sam Weber. Elijah Maris and Andrew Ghana coming in to score. On the play, Kedron Kinsey to third, and Brooke Knight will come out and make a pitching change here, and that will enable yours truly, Mike Parker, to finish the conversation with Delaney Fiedler joining me as a new pitcher comes in for the Knights. So, I don't know. Most things are out of my control. You come up, you or somebody comes up and said, who's the player of the game? So I tell you, and I haven't quite decided yet for tonight, by the way. But so take us from that moment to then what happens via social media and elsewhere.
Yeah, so I will take the name and put it and get their stats from the game, whether it's a pitcher or a play or like a infield player,
Right.
outfield, whatever. And I will go ahead and post that on the Instagram, and that will then post to Facebook. And tonight we are actually starting the Washington Park Advisors Player of the Game videos. So we're going to
cool.
ask some questions after the game, how the game went, and all that.
You will get with the player that I give you. Mm-hmm. And so that will be a video that will go hit social media starting tonight.
Yes. Hopefully that gets up and we are charging the mic right now, so we'll see what happens.
So that you'll do that sort of down on the field when fans and people are down there.
Yes.
I go down and do interviews sometimes too. I won't fight you for who gets that player first. And I still, as I said, haven't fully decided as Quinn Dufort comes in and begins to loosen up. But let's take a look at it. Now, sometimes the other day I picked a player, and Taylor said to me, we were surprised at your player of the game, thinking it would be Colter McAnally. I don't know if you were.
Yes.
He made those great plays defensively, and I ended up going with a pitcher, I think Peyton Risky.
Mm-hmm.
But so what do we got tonight? Do you have an opinion yet, or have you been so busy running around? Because I'm certainly open to suggestion. The Knights lead at 6-2. There have been some good offensive things that have gone on. Do you have a favorite in mind at this point?
Honestly, I've kind of been running around a little bit, but I have seen Case and Concertina do some good things. But,
Yes.
I mean, it's about as far as I've gotten.
I got you. Well, good pitching. I'm always, Lucas Casey was very good. The
Yes.
shutout was intact until this eighth inning. Dominic Tatone looked good. Sometimes the relief pitchers kind of get a little lost and don't get as much attention as the starting pitchers do or the closer does. I don't think we've had Dominic before, have we? Do you
no.
remember? I don't think so.
He is honestly one of the good pitchers down there. He doesn't get a lot of recognition from the team a lot.
I think we have just talked ourselves into Dominic. How about that? Would you be
Sounds
comfortable
good.
with that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, we've made the decision together. And you can look up his stats from the box score. I don't have them right here in front of me, but he pitched very well in relief. The runner goes. The first pitch from Quinn Dufort is swung on and missed. 0-1 the count. Sam Weber stealing second. Quinn Dufort coming into the ball game to face Jackson Upton, with the Knights' lead having been cut to 6-2 on the two-run single by Weber. Runners at second and third. Weber at second, Kinsey at third. The pitch from Quinn Dufort to Jackson Upton misses to even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike here in the top of the eighth inning. A warm, pleasant night before a good crowd. Dufort delivers off speed. The pitch was in the turf. The strike 2 pitch taken in front of the plate by Tyler Howard, who throws down to first for the inning-ending strikeout. Good work by Quinn Dufort. Delaney, thank you. Great to talk to you on the air. Keep up the good work, and I guess you can go to work now on Dominic Tatone stuff.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Delaney. Delaney Fiedler from Corbin University, Mount Spokane High School, in her second year as an intern with the Corvallis Knights. We go to the bottom of the eighth inning. Springfield gets on the board. The Drifters score 2. They leave 2 in scoring position after 7.5. The Knights 6, the Drifters 2 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Bottom of the 8th inning, Billy Dotson working on Kellen Siegel. The first pitch swung on and missed. Billy comes back with a strike one pitch and misses a bit high and inside. 1-1 to Kellen, who has been aboard on an error, had an infield single and fly to right. Dotson's 1-1 breaking ball away. Ball 2, 2-1. Kellen Siegel, Peyton Miller, and Thomas Ferraggiaro, the scheduled hitters for the Knights in the 8th. 6-2 Knights, trying to snap a 2-game losing streak. The 2-1 pitch misses. The ball popping off the mid of Jackson Upton and appeared to be a fairly good pitch that home plate umpire Anthony Artini didn't get a chance to look at. 3-1 to Kellen. Billy Dotson back to the plate, up and in for ball 4. Kellen drawing the leadoff walk. Peyton Miller to the plate. The Knights and Drifters again tomorrow night, 6:35. Armed Forces night here at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. Knuckleball night on Thursday, the day after the All-Star game. And remember to watch on the MLB Network on Wednesday night, the MLB Network, for the West Coast League All-Star game at Joe Martin Field in Bellingham. Wow, what a tremendous showcase for the young men who have been selected to play in the event. Peyton Miller takes a strike, 0-1 the count. Billy Dotson out of the stretch. The 0-1 pitch is lifted to left field and playable. Ryder Dykstra moves over and back a couple of steps to make the catch. One away. Thomas Ferraggiaro, the batter. When you visit Corvallis to catch Knights baseball, be sure to stay at your locally owned Best Western Corvallis, the official hotel partner of your Corvallis Knights. Close to Goss with the largest hotel rooms in the city and an outdoor heated pool. Wherever life takes you, Best Western is there. The switch hitting, Thomas Ferraggiaro leading off for the Knights tonight. Roped a pitch deep into the right field corner in the 5th. A late break from first from Kellen Siegel, and the throw pulls Elijah Maris across the bag to the right side of second, and Kellen is in with a stolen base. No balls and a strike to Peyton Miller with the Knights looking to get a little bit of insurance to take with them to the top of the 9th inning. They lead it 6-2. Another run wouldn't hurt. The Drifters showing some life the last couple of innings on offense. The pitch to Ferraggiaro misses outside, and the count 1-1. The 1-1 pitch misses a bit high and away. Ball 2, 2-1. I put my young friend and broadcasting partner tonight on the task of adding up 9 stolen bases for the Knights. Adding up essentially the gift to Community Outreach, Inc. 9 times 30. That's a good number. Coming out of the evening, Community Outreach, Inc. will get the $270, May, if there's another one. But that's a great night for a program that does tremendous work in our community. Community Outreach, Inc., Papay Material Handling, and the Knights. A pop-up to shallow center. Going out is Elijah Maris in straightaway center. The shortstop makes the catch for out number 2. Tai Yukamoto will come to the plate. 9 steals, $270 for Community Outreach, Inc. And the Knights now with 78 steals on the year. The great effort continues from Papay Material Handling, the Knights, on behalf of Community Outreach, Inc. Tai Yukamoto looking for an RBI. He hits a soft liner right at second baseman Sam Weber, who makes the catch. The inning is over. The Knights will try to make good with their 4-run lead as we go to the top of the 9th inning. The Knights 6 and Springfield 2 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
subscribe to the Gazette-Times, your go-to source for in-depth journalism and breaking news. From local stories that impact your community to consistent updates to your Beavers and Knights, the Gazette-Times has it all. For only $1 for 3 months, enjoy unlimited access to our e-edition, unlimited articles on GazetteTimes.com and our mobile app, and free access to newspapers.com archives. Subscribe today and join the Gazette-Times community.
The selection of Dominic Tone, a little bit controversial, in that one of the interns came out and said, "How'd you guys come up with the Tone?" Quinn Dufort with the Knights leading 6-2. Lucas Casey did have a strong argument. I get that. It was either Lucas or Dominic. And John came out and said, "I thought you were going to go with Lucas." I said, "Well, yeah, but I've already committed on the air to Dominic," and they both pitched well, and he agreed after we gave him the Tone line, 2 1/3 scoreless. And middle relievers do often kind of get lost in the shuffle. And I think it would be a good thing tonight to honor a young man out of Roseburg High School and Umpqua Community College and on his way to Western. The 1-2 pitch from Quinn Dufort to Ryder Dykstra, fouled straight back. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Now, on the other hand, I understand the Lucas Casey argument. What do I got to do to ever be the Washington? He'll get another shot. He's an outstanding pitcher. He'll get another look, and Dominic might too. The 1-2 fastball just outside. Anthony Artini has been, in that sense, consistently stingy with respect to the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Quinn Dufort back to Ryder Dykstra. Nearly hit Ryder under his right elbow. And the count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Ryder, leading things off for the Drifters in the top of the ninth. The Knights leading 6-2. Dufort's 3-2 pitch is ball 4. It's too bad. Dykstra, a good player, hustles down to first. A leadoff walk with a 4-run lead. That's the too bad part of it. But Dufort did a nice job coming on last inning to get an inning-ending strikeout when the Drifters had scored 2 and had 2 in scoring position. He was ahead 1-2 and just missed on the 1-2 pitch to Ryder. Now goes to work with a runner at first and nobody out on the leadoff walk. Gage Bruce takes a little high and inside, ball 1. And it appeared Quinn may have been a bit of a victim of that tight zone that Anthony Artini has been going with all night long for both teams. A throw to first base, back to the bag steps Ryder Dykstra, who has walked in both of his plate appearances this evening for the Drifters, who scored 2 last inning. The pitch to Bruce is lifted to left center field. I think Houston Wheeler in the game now and left lost the ball as he pursued it. He did, but Brandon Cabrera stayed with it to make the catch. 1 away. This twilight time is a tough time. And Houston did lose the ball, I believe, going up and kind of threw his hands in the air as if to say, I don't see it, I don't see it. Cabrera saw it better off the bat and made the grab. 1 gone. Garrett Cooper, the batter. Garrett takes a strike. The count 0-1. Garrett is 0 for 4. Ryder Dykstra at first, held on by Kaysen Concerina. 6-2 Knights in the top of the ninth. Good fastball from Quinn, swung on and missed. No balls and 2 strikes to Cooper. Elijah Maris on deck. I invoked the great name of Yaz in terms of the upright style that the left-hand hitting Cooper employs. He bloops one to shallow center field. Cabrera racing in to make the catch. Lost his cap en route. Stays with it for the grab, 2 down. The great number 24, whom we just lost a couple of weeks back, Willie would wear a cap intentionally a little too large so that when he would get on the move, Willie's cap would fly. Say hey kid with a great sense of style and talent. So did Yaz. Reading Ted Williams in My Turn at Bat, Teddy said he'd love to go to Red Sox spring training at the end of his own playing days and look at a Carl Yastrzemski just hungering and waiting for the next pitch. It would bring back memories of the splendid Splinter, the Thumper, and his anticipation of taking the next cut. One of the great hitters in the history of the game, maybe some say the best in power and average, 521, 344. The 1-0 pitch swung on and missed by Elijah. The 1-1 pitch hit foul into Urchin Alley to the right, back onto the roof that the young man climbed, and he did distribute those baseballs to others because I'm looking at him. He's climbing back to the top steps, wondering where that ball went. But he no longer has 5 in his pockets. He's handed them out. Dufort trying to end it here, and he does. The 1-2 fastball swung on and missed. Strike 3. The inning is over, the ball game is over, and the Knights' losing streak is over. They had dropped back-to-back games in Walla Walla. They get back on the customary, and for them, the right track, with an end-to-end 6-2 victory over the Springfield Drifters in Game 1 of this 2-game series. We'll be back at it tomorrow night at 6:35 on Armed Forces Night. Alan Embry and Brooke Knight come together for a handshake after the game. We look forward to Game 2 tomorrow. This is going to be a tough one to match, just in terms of the weather, the clarity of the skies, the low IQ, the quality of the event. Knights, the 17th birthday party for Mac the Knight, and the 8 other mascots: Bucky the Beaver, Beaverton High School; Double T, Taft High School; Rocky the Roadrunner from LB; Hootie the Owl from Oregon Tech; Puddles the Oregon Duck; Benny Beaver, Rapid, and Lil King, all celebrating together the 17th birthday of Mac the Knight. Papa's Pizza handing out free slices. It just made for a tremendous atmosphere here at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. The Knights steal 9 bases. They get excellent pitching from Lucas Casey, Dominic Titone, Mason Goodson, and Quinn Dufort to bring it home. For Knight Uretsky, this is Mike Parker thanking you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you again here tomorrow night, 6:25 for the live stream to get underway. Thank you for joining us tonight. 1,395 on hand on a perfect night for baseball. Again, our final score, the Knights 6 and the Drifters 2. See you tomorrow night right back here at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. So long, everybody.